Let's go! Good evening, everybody. My name is Carl Evans, and welcome to the Hope Lounge. I am your host and the CEO of the Hope for Us Network, and tonight we have a fantastic show for you. We're going to be watching, of course, the October 2022 fundraising event, the inaugural Champions of Hope, hosted at the historic Logan Square Auditorium. It's a pro wrestling event supporting the Hope for Us Network's proactive prevention strategies and programming. And man, we had an amazing night. It was a jam-packed. We moved about 250 tickets. We had friends, family, and the community come out to support the Chicago debut of the illustrious WrestlePro pro wrestling organization based out of New Jersey, but doing big things all over the country, taking over spots from Jersey to Alaska. And they brought out their best, along with some of the finest Chicagoland talent, to put on an amazing show for the community. And tonight we're going to watch a wonderfully edited production of it. Well, we're also going to be talking about a little bit of what we're doing in 2023. We've got special guests tonight, including one of the talented participants at the Champions of Hope. We also have members from one of the Hope for Us Network's upcoming shows, upcoming events, a special concert produced by the band Guardrail called Snuzfest. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later tonight. So the plan for the day is we're going to be introducing our guests, and then we're going to be rolling tape and letting Champions of Hope play while we have a little back and forth and chit-chat. We will be focusing on the matches a little bit, but we're also going to be focusing on our guests. Moreover, we're going to make sure that you can watch the whole Champions of Hope event on our YouTube channel. It'll be uploaded there, including the matches will be broken down in a playlist. So fear not if we get into some conversation and you're like, oh, wait, I wanted to hear more about that, something happened in the match. Don't worry, you'll be able to get at it later on this weekend, next weekend into the coming days. So I just want to thank you all for joining us. As always, at the Hope for Us Network, we intend to bring on digital outreach that furthers our mission of proactive prevention strategies, where we're building connections through conversations. And it's not just about a one and done. It's not just about a quick slogan and a wristband. When we talk about proactive suicide prevention, it's a conversation that meets at different intersections, and it meets in different community spaces. And tonight and throughout this whole weekend, which if you've noticed, we're calling Sleep-In Weekend, a sort of digital live stream celebration of self-care. We're spending time just connecting with some of those different intersections where the conversations can really take place, where we build that grassroots understanding of how to reach out for support and break through stigmas that make us silent to conceal our mental health challenges. So not everything has to start with just memorizing terms or the lifeline. A lot of the proactive prevention vision is about providing the education to empower people to take care of themselves and also recognize the earliest signs and symptoms when to reach out for support. When we do events and activities on our digital outreach platform like this is about making sure that we're normalizing the conversation on mental health, making it more than just waiting for a special month, or unfortunately when someone is impacted negatively by mental health. We want to make this a part of our day-to-day weekly lives. So I'm so excited for you to just join us. If you got a chance to see Sign of the Times last night with AC, it was fantastic. We had guests of Snuzfest on as they chit-chatted and talked about a whole wide range of topics. And tomorrow we're going to be having our Sunday show, the Tomorrow Show, close out with a big old guest list that includes Snuzfest members. It also includes other wrestlers. One of the other wrestlers that you'll see from WrestlePro, the founder and co-owner of WrestlePro, Kevin Matthews, will be joining. And we're also going to be talking to one of our 2023 partners as we continue to do this work, Nature's Grace and Wellness, and we'll be talking about one of their education programs, spark the conversation as well. So we've got a lot going on this weekend, and I think it's important we just jump right into things. So what we're going to do is we're going to first bring on all our guests, and then we're going to sort of find our flow. Let's get our guests on camera first, though. So first off, if we've got Colin. Colin, you there? Can we see you? Can you hear me?
Hey,
Colin,
what's up, dude?
Colin, thank you for joining us. We're going to get into some introductions in a second.
Sure.
We got Ryan. Ryan, you there?
What's going on?
Yo, good to see you. If I can check, we got Kidd Riot. You with us?
Here.
At least in the floating black screen is the mysterious Kidd Riot. It'll make a lot of sense when we get into the wrestling show why that's going down, but we're keeping a little bit of mystery going. And I believe, do we have Nathyn with us?
I'm here.
Nathyn, good to see you. And we cannot forget, I do believe, unless we didn't lose him, unless we have one of our good homies from Guardrail joining us as well.
Come on.
Hey.
Oh, we got two. Oh,
The boys.
Well, we
The
got
dudes.
a packed house.
Yeah.
What I want to do before we get into playing the clips is let's do a little popcorn introduction and talk about ourselves a little bit before we sort of dive in. And I'm going to start with first Colin from if you're going to go with the day after. Colin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Colin. I play bass and share singing duties in the day after. We're from Indianapolis, Indiana, kind of heavy punk rock stuff. Used to be kind of on the easy core side. Now it's definitely transitioning more onto the heavier side. But yeah, I do that a lot of the time. I am a actor and voice actor as well. And I stay very busy as much as I can. But yeah, stoked to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Ryan.
What's up? I am Ryan, number 1 of the Freedom Paradox. I do most of the main vocals and rhythm guitar. We've been in band for like 8 years. I'm the only original member left. Let's see. I sell screws as my main job. So if you need some screws, let me know. Our band sounds like if Rise Against only screamed the entire time.
Hell yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. And Snyder Bigsby, thanks for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Let's talk to Guardrail as well. How you gents doing?
Doing swell.
Good. I just came from a dinner with my family. I got engaged a couple weeks ago, so they took the whole family out to dinner, and I'm 3 old fashions deep, and I'm ready to party.
Awesome. Beautiful thing. Who else we got over there?
Yeah, Ken.
I am not 3 old fashions deep, but half a high noon deep. So
There you go. That's the spirit.
need to catch up.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be talking about Snuzfest a little bit later. And Nathyn, introduce yourself, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm Nathan. I'm just a wrestling fan who brings his camera and tries to capture cool things and then try to turn them into other cool things. I just like a wrestling fan that likes to point out cool things.
Love that.
That's a great way to put it. And a lot of the footage you're going to see tonight, mixed with Rick, who couldn't join us, was the dynamic filming of Nathyn. So appreciate you having here, brother. And Kidd Riot, sir, how you doing?
Absolutely good. It's a wonderful night. I'm a little nervous to watch this back because I remember it firsthand, but we'll get through it.
Well, and in all fairness, as we've got a lot of performers here. We all know we can be our own harshest critics, but I think we're going to have fun tonight. So, Mr. Executive Producer, Scott, if you could get that rolling. This event, again, took place on October 22, 2022 at Logan Square Auditorium. And this is the premier event for a wrestling promotion that's traditionally based out of New Jersey called WrestlePro. And this is a big deal for all of us. It was the biggest event that the Hope for Us Network has organized in our young history. This is WrestlePro's first dance. So we got a great turnout, and I'm really hyped. This is a real family production. It's all Hope for Us Network team that staffed the thing along the Logan Square Auditorium. So I think we're ready to play. First match up is a triple threat. So there's going to be a lot of action happening. The first wrestlers up is Gonna be a fellow named Matt McIntosh, Joe Alonzo, and GKM. See, this is Nathan's footage. I believe that's Joe.
That's Joe Alonzo.
That's Joe Alonzo.
He just got signed to NWA earlier this year, or later this year.
Yeah,
sick.
December, right?
Also,
Yeah.
when he wrestles there, because he wrestles there a lot under AAW, which is a Chicago-based promotion that I believe has been around since 2005.
Yeah.
So like they're like a staple when it comes to independent wrestling.
So that's an important thing here. AAW, this is their like home arena. So while the guys are gonna come out, we're gonna see the other fellas here and talk about them. But I was wondering, Guardrail, if you could tell us a little bit about Snuzfest as the guys make their way to the ring here. What's the deal with that?
So the deal here is so we've been doing this thing this is our 6th year doing it. We had to skip a year because of the pandemic, but it's a punk rock pajama party. There's 8 bands in the bill. We just every year is a different line of bands. There's only one band besides us that's played more than 1 year. That would be our friends Glory Days, but it's punk rock in pajamas for a cause. We raise money for some sort of nonprofit. The last couple of years, it's been you guys, the Hope for Us Network. So it's just a blast. A lot of good vibes. A lot of bands that we put the whole thing together. We curate all the bands that play. We make sure all the bands are good people, good bands, good vibes, and couldn't be happier with any of the year lineups that we've had. And this year is definitely no exception. Everyone kicks ass. They're all good friends of ours, and we're ready to bring it. This is insane what I'm watching right now. I've tried so hard to concentrate on what I'm saying, but I'm like, holy shit, this looks crazy. But yeah.
Well, we won't distract you too. I won't ask you to distract you too much more. The event's coming up in February, and folks can get tickets, right?
Yes. So it is February 11th at B Kitchen. Tickets are available at bkitchen.com, kickstandproductions.com. You can click the link in our bio on our Instagram, which is @guardrailsucks. And yeah, it's 15 in advance, 18 at the door. Again, there's 8 bands. It's a good ass time. I think doors are 5:30, shows at 6. Come out, hang out, wear your best pajamas. We had a pillow fight last year. We're planning on having another pillow fight this year. It's gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. And pillow fights sound like a lot of fun, but we're about to get into quite a fight right now. So let's see what we got here. So we talked about Joe Alonzo's in the match. The other 2 individuals, the second who came out, the Phoenix in purple trunks, the Phoenix GKM. He's had appearances in AEW and he's with WrestlePro. He's current champion of Pro Wrestling R, if I'm not mistaken. And the other individual who just escaped some of that offense, just did a leapfrog and a hip drag. That's Bad Apple Matt McIntosh. So we got a little bit of a mosh going on here.
So many pins.
Bunch of near falls.
Yeah.
As someone who started out as a ref, I hated when they did that.
It's got to be so hard. Like, the ref is a really unloved and underappreciated part of the wrestling experience.
Oh, 100%.
If you guys pay attention to them throughout the night, the amount of cardio and up and down they're going to have to do as these matches get wild is pretty impressive.
Dude, the guy just fell out, has phenomenal hair.
He does. He truly does. Yeah. As a bald man, I'm incredibly jealous.
I just shaved my head today, and I'm like, damn.
Although being bald made the pandemic a lot easier.
Oh, that's true. I have the longest hair I've ever had because of the pandemic. Never bothered to get a cut, and I just haven't gone back to a barber back since. Oh, that's a nasty boot.
Loving the multi-cameras for this. This is looking great.
Yeah, you see, this is a lot. Nathan, you selling yourself short, man. This is a lot of Nathan's camera work.
Yeah, this
Ooh.
rules, dude.
Standing moonsault. Two count. Yeah, so and then just once again, if you're just tuning in, gentleman in the ring in red is Matt McIntosh, the Bad Apple. Purple trunks is GKM, the Phoenix, and then out on the ring side is Joe Alonzo. Triple threat match, and things are just sort of picking up a pace. Beautiful drop.
There's a handful of wrestling companies that will work in the Logan Square Auditorium. AAW's one of them, which I think they started here in 2012. There's also Freelance Wrestling, which is almost, if not a decade old at this point. Maria Kanellis and Bobby Cruz does one called Women's Wrestling Army, I believe, that will use this venue, as well as one in Berwyn.
Love
And when like Evolve Wrestling, when that was a thing under the WWE umbrella, they would come here a couple of times. So you had people like Matt Riddle and Walter wrestle in this building under Evolve.
That's dope.
I'm a super mark for Walter / Gunther. So.
Oh, I kind of hope we get that Walter Gunther Brock Lesnar match.
Oh, Jesus.
With that trimmer.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ryan, Colin, have any of you fellas been into wrestling before?
Oh, big time. Yeah, I grew up on it. I've had like my bursts of like being really into it and then be like, okay, I gotta watch other TV. But then like I'm starting to fall back into that. Like, God, I gotta watch all of it. But I'm actually good buddies with a ref for SmackDown. He's now a producer as well. But Jason Ayers, he did the Johnny Knoxville Sami Zayn match at WrestleMania last year. He's done a bunch of good ones. But
which is one of my
awesome.
favorite matches of
so
last
good.
year.
So good. Best match of that WrestleMania by far for me, at least. But yeah, so whenever they come through town or our paths cross, they always hooks me up with tickets. So it's always great seeing that stuff live.
I will say occasionally that a lot of modern day professional wrestling is inspired by MTV's Jackass in some ways, and I don't mean that as like a diss. Because I grew up on that show, but like especially like a lot of indies and like weird stuff that they do.
Oh yeah.
This is my first time ever seeing wrestling, ever.
Really?
No.
Dude, welcome.
It's my first time.
So you're either going to really, really enjoy this or really, really dislike it. And either way, it's going to be entertaining for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you ever grow up going to like Rocky Horror Picture Shows? Because in some ways, it's kind of like that element when it comes to the crowds. Like there's things when you go to Rocky Horror and when you go to wrestling, like consistently, there's like times when you're supposed to interject. There's times you're supposed to like make fun of somebody,
Right.
or throw rice.
Oh.
At this point,
In me and Kent's first band ever, we played a weird Battle of Bands thing at this exact place at the Logan Square Auditorium. I have no idea who won. We left and went and saw Dane Cook after. So.
That's an interesting story.
Okay, so I got two short little stories. So one is there was this venue west of here, like almost like on the Indiana-Illinois border in a place called Terre Haute. It was just called the Terre Haute Music Venue, and they did a lot of indie wrestling stuff there. And the ring that they had was the ring that they used in the first Spider-Man movie with Randy Savage and that. So like we got to play around in that. It was tons of fun. But one time, actually, Keep Flying. So they're on Snuzfest. I was in a band that kind of turned into Keep Flying called Survey Says way back when. And one time we played the Masquerade in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's 3 rooms for that venue. There's Heaven, Hell, and Purgatory. So Heaven's like big room, Purgatory's a smaller one, and Hell's kind of a medium-sized one. So we played Purgatory, and Sabu was wrestling in Hell, so we like kept popping over to like watch Sabu fucking kill it, and it was so cool.
Wrestling
That's
in
amazing.
Hell is such a
Right?
You're talking about that Terre Haute venue?
Yeah, Terre Haute Music Venue.
I've wrestled in that building.
Okay, yeah.
As soon as you said that, it's been years. It's probably
Yeah.
been 10 years, but
Yeah.
I wrestled in that building.
That's dope, man. Yeah, small world.
That makes me think of another building that does a lot of wrestling. If anyone's familiar with Bourbon Street, I'm sure you've seen music there too. No, down in Bourbon, not Bourbon. Where is
really
that?
weird
115. Nathan, I bet you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because it's I think 115 or 1 something Bourbon Street.
Yeah, what town is that though? It's like south of Beverly.
I'm not going to pronounce it right, but it's like Marinette.
Marinette Park. Marinette Park.
Yes.
Yeah, if any of you ever heard of it, it's like this gigantic mega venue where it has a full-size country bar, a 3,000 seat main concert hall, a Cancun-themed outdoor patio bar, and then like a reggaeton. Like it can be hip-hop reggaeton or metal. Death metal kind of thing.
You can jump into different vibes. Like you'll leave the wrestling show and there's like a house DJ playing, and then you walk into another room and there's like a band doing covers of hair metal.
Yeah. It would get in a lot more trouble if it was closer to the city because it's a pretty wild place. But all of you do yourselves a favor and look it up. Maybe make a venture out there one day. You know, take an Uber group. All right, so.
I love that name. Holy crap. Freya the Slayer. Oh
Freya's out of Alaska. Done a bunch of OVW.
No way.
There's a promotion that she's been with. And obviously WrestlePro. This is my first time seeing Freya.
Who is this?
They look
and this
great.
fella, Yosifer.
Is this
Yosifer?
Yosifer. Channeling that sort of parts unknown vibe.
Fucking land.
Yeah, like
someone's leg.
I don't know how I'm gonna die, but I hope they're the cause of it.
I don't.
Oh, who's coming to the ring now?
Oh, this the boy.
So, I want to say right now, before this bell rings, this is the second worst wrestling match I've ever had in my life.
It's always when it's recorded.
And Carl, to all his credit, did everything in his power to make me feel better about it that night. And I love you for that. It was not going to happen, though.
Second worst match of your life so far.
Yeah, so far.
It's one of those things, man, I'm just telling you, like, we'll watch it and we'll see. This is a complex match. It's intergender. Well, it's mixed tag, actually. Intergender is when they can, all genders can fight at the same time. But in this kind of a match, the people who identify as women wrestle each other. People who identify as male wrestle each other. So I guess
it's an even swap each time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the more classic style of this,
right.
typically. Fun fact, Kidd Riot, this isn't your first time in Chicago though, right? You've worked up here a number of times.
Yeah, I've worked up here before. This is the first time in Logan, but I've worked up in Chicago before.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kidd Riot. Where are you from? What's going on?
Well, I live about 2 hours south of Chicago. Originally trained with a guy who used to work for AWA, who I don't really try to name drop anymore because he is in prison for being a bad person.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh.
Yeah, and since then, though, it starts with
another name for $1.
No, it's rock and roll something, and that we'll just leave it there. But then I recently, a couple of years ago, got to do some more training with Super Crazy, and that was an amazing experience. And I love that man.
Oh, that's right. You did a series of matches with Super Crazy, right? Didn't you tag with him?
Tagged with him a couple times and got to ride with him up and down the roads and train with him, and that was an amazing time.
So, as a resident ring warrior, what got you into this? 'Cause this stuff is crazy.
Honestly, I like superheroes. I wanted to do something fun, so I got into this.
Yeah, dude, you look awesome, man.
And you're going against a big old horse then.
And he is a big dude. He hits like a truck, too.
You can kick my ass for sure.
Is everybody on that stage?
I think it's worth pointing out.
Is everybody on the stage sitting down in the chairs? Are they the judges for this match?
Are they what?
The judges.
No, they're just. We needed extra seating, so we had some people hang out there.
Good to know. Good to know.
But if you're wondering, they're a little stoic looking. I think a lot of them this is a first time for them. There are a lot of people who came who were inspired by the mental health part, as much as people who came who were inspired by the wrestling part.
When he hit me there, knocked me down, I promise you that man hit me.
I got a story about this man. A little bit.
I believe they call that stiff.
Yeah, it was snug.
So right where Freya is, there's a kid that she'll be trash talking against the whole match. There's like a kid that was really into like talking trash to the heels and stuff. Yeah. And she had a good dig towards the kid when she was like, "Then why did you ask for my autograph earlier?" That's a good line. That's very good. Well done.
Kid as in like 20 or kid as in like 7? Because one of those is more hilarious than the other.
Thinking more teenage, more like early teenager would be my guess.
That's fair. I'll allow it.
So, Kidd Riot, on average, how much work are you doing? How much are you wrestling in any given month?
It's been varying because I'm trying to do more tag stuff, and so then you got to work with 2 people's schedules as opposed to 1. But at least a couple times a month. We try to get down. If we're not wrestling a couple weeks in a row, we try to go down to the gym and train. Like a lot of my Instagram and TikTok is just training videos of us just playing around for stuff that we can apparently only do to each other. So.
Okay. Well, and that's right. You're with your tag team. Is it AF1, Air Force One?
Yeah, he is. You can't see him, but he is off camera doing security, giving me all the notes that he's going to give me on the whole ride home, good and bad.
Now, aren't you holding some gold down in Springfield there? Am I crazy?
I've got a set of tag belts in Springfield and then one in Peoria. So
nice.
Yeah.
Let's go,
don't be sleeping on Kidd Riot.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I didn't care for this match. However, like, I've had some really fun ones this year.
Good.
And I got to tell you, one of the things I feel like you fellas in the music world can appreciate is that, when you're in the ring with each other, if we mean wink, wink, a lot of it has got to be a little bit of a collaboration. It's almost that, like, there's a familiarity, where you're going to be, how fast they move, da-da-da-da. That's timing,
Yeah.
And this is the very first time Kidd Riot see any of these 3. And these 3 have been working together for years in some cases.
And we didn't get in the ring and work through anything. This was all just, hey, we're going to try this and hope it works for the best.
And that's really the magic of pro wrestling. This is the equivalent to, like, if you guys got on stage, like, and you'd never really known each other, but you're expected to go out and competently move through, like, a set and just have each other's place, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a song that you've never actually played before.
Yeah. Man, when in doubt, open, 5th fret, and jump, and that's all of it. That's our whole set.
There was one show that we played where we booked the show. Ken had a prior engagement, a family thing, so he couldn't make it. Our drummer had a thing that happened, so he couldn't make it. We had a fill-in drummer who bailed like the Tuesday before the Friday show. We hired a guy that was a friend of our bassist Alyssa's, who was like a session drummer. He learned our shit. We met up that morning, ran through the set once at the practice space. We're like, solid, all right, and then we went and played the show.
That's awesome.
It was an experience. So I feel like that's a lot of a similar vibe here.
And if any of you others want to jump in there, sort of had to call it on the fly kind of a thing, save the show, save the moment.
Well, this one time I tried out for guardrail for bass, not knowing how to play bass. And Evan sounds me for like 20 hours trying to teach me songs, and I suck at bass, and it did not work out. And I'm like, thank you for not picking me. Your band is better without me playing bass.
You're welcome. Thanks for not taking the job.
Hey, I was never.
That's true.
That's fair. Now we get to play Snuzfest together, and that's all that matters.
Get him out.
Oh, send him over the top.
Oh!
All right. This I remember this hurt a lot.
Yeah, that looks painful as a
Someone lose their umbilical cord? What happened?
Oh,
Wait, the double chop is underrated.
Oh, Jesus.
So, fun note, that little child in the orange shirt is my 7-year-old nephew. So he threw me into the guardrail right in front of my 7-year-old nephew.
You must be so proud.
Oh, yeah. We should have some sort of like Pee-wee's Funhouse like buzzword. Okay. Guardrail.
That's us around the ring.
Goes back to school. His teacher's like, "How was your week?" And he's like, "Dude, my uncle got his shit rocked."
Yeah.
And did.
Oh, look at that. That dirty son of a bitch. Oh, what's his name again?
What is
That's inappropriate.
Yosefer.
My virgin eyes.
You know, wrestling can get as R-rated as you want sometimes, but
I don't want it.
no, I'm saying like there are promotions that get like that way.
Oh, yeah.
So like working with the promoters for this event, I was like, hey man, you know, however you normally do things or whatever, like let's just like play. Let's keep it tame.
Sometimes our shows get R-rated. Sometimes I say things like "fuck."
Sometimes.
Occasionally, there's the occasional fuck or shit or ass in there.
Well, we can't monetize any of our videos.
You gotta keep it zesty.
Ooh, yeah, we're fucking zesty as shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good match. It was a good match.
Yeah. That was dope, man.
This is
Well done.
This is going to be a dark STG, more that sort of parts unknown energy, and CPA.
Okay, can I go ahead? Sorry.
No, jump it. Go.
I have a CPA story for everyone here.
Please.
Oh, nice.
During the pandemic, he made a video, like a cinematography wrestling style video, where he fought the members of the band Trapped
No,
because of their controversial opinions on COVID. I will find the YouTube link and I will send it to somebody and have them drop it in here. The entire video is set to bit tone version of Headstrong. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And when I met him, I told him how proud, how amazing I thought it was.
That's incredible. Oh my
I
god.
got that video for my own personal record.
I'll take on anyone.
Yeah, send
Yeah,
that in the
definitely.
chat.
I'm looking it up as we speak.
Oh god, that's
Over
so
the
good.
pandemic, I did like an online acoustic show, and I like played Headstrong in my acoustic set. And before I was like, man, this song just got me through a lot of hard times. I had this whole little fucking speech for it, and I started playing that, and all the comments I've seen popping up as soon as I got to the chorus, it's like, no! It was wonderful. I was super into Trapped in like 7th grade.
As was every fan of that.
So I remember I have the Walmart edited version of that CD to this day.
I couldn't name a single other song besides that one. Not a fan of the band. I'm a fan of movie trailers featuring that song, but I've never seen any of those actual movies.
Military recruitment ads and shit.
Yeah. I just assume that song is in every Fast and Furious movie. I've also never seen any of those.
It's Vin Diesel's favorite song.
Yeah.
Not
It
fan.
was probably also in that Triple X movie or whatever it was.
He's got
Chronicles of Riddick. All of them. They all have that song.
Every Vin Diesel song opens with that.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Movies.
God, the guy in the tie looks like
It's a
Oh,
clip-on.
those still cost money, bro.
Yeah. And he would know. He's a
Rude.
CPA.
the picture of himself on his own tie.
It's a great merchandise.
His paint looks dope.
You telling me a wrestler's selling ties at shows?
Arsenio Hall.
Dude, I am a big fan of weird merch. Like we've had candles and stuff before. Next stop is ties. We're doing that.
clip-on ties. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Clip-ons.
bring it back to the sort of like new wave, early '80s vibe.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing.
That sounds
Speaking
like
of-
my
Gosh, shit.
fancy attire.
Well, speaking of '80s, CPA makes me think there's a faction with like IRS and $1 Million Man.
Dude, oh my god. Okay, so you guys are gonna love this. So we have like a fake wrestling league just through Twitch. Basically, it's all through WWE 2K22, where we all
Nice.
create wrestlers and then set it up to be like no controller set to anybody, just AI go, and then we watch the matches and stuff. So we have a guy that's just the accountant, and he is the biggest heel in the entire league. It's so funny.
It's good.
Dude,
I
if you
have
put
two
your shirt in, you don't fuck around.
I have two characters. One of them just kind of looks like me, but the other one I named the Pebble, and I just downloaded The Rock and made him like 5'4", and it has. Oh, he's
If you
great.
want to give the accountant some good heat,
Yeah.
have like a really good main event, and then have the accountant come up right before the finish and be like, "We cannot afford to keep the show going. Lights out."
Oh, could you send it to the chat, right?
I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Or email? Run it in the email.
Oh yeah, that works too.
Yeah,
So-
AJ knows the Pebble in the
You're
chat.
embracing romantic.
Oh,
That's
jeez,
romantic.
this guy's getting
More
eaten alive.
I think CPA would have had a barbed wire match with WrestlePro, this company, like maybe like a week or two after this. I think it was later that month.
He did. I remember seeing something about that. He was doing that.
It was him and Sean Donovan, who's going to be coming up later.
I just want to point out, CPA is getting the crap kicked out of him.
Shirt's coming up front.
He
This
is.
good. It's not good.
Like
I
CPA
gotta
stock's
wonder-
going to be on the rise.
Oh.
He's about to go from business to business casual real quick.
The gloves are off, brother.
He's experiencing a real bullish market right now, I'll tell you that much.
Finish it. Take the pants off too.
Yeah, I gotta know, are those like stretch, or are they like extra denim and he just is able to make it work?
He's not fair in that he has such short shorts, and this guy is fully clothed with his pants tucked in.
There's, because in wrestling, there's some guys that I wondered, like in the 90s, there was the Smoking Guns, and they didn't have like stretch pants on. Those are real denim jeans that they worked
Yeah.
in. Like, what the hell?
Listen, it is. I mean, that was the 80s, 90s. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't touch my
There were no
toes,
rules back then.
Yeah.
let alone this shit.
I just don't understand how you have the mobility.
I mean, the
you're going for the
90s had
ride.
the steroid trials, so there was a little bit of rules back then.
No one in wrestling has ever used steroids, I promise.
Right.
No.
Ooh,
Not at
shoulder.
It's all me, brother. Totally clean. 1, 2. I like that he put the makeup on his abs to like really give a nice accentuation.
Meanwhile, this bank teller thought he could fuck with this guy who paints his abs on him.
And SDG is giving me some like Finn Balor demon vibes too.
Yeah.
Oh, he ate that pole.
If he's
Or
a bank teller,
remember the Warriors, like the Furies and the Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. Oh, 6. Is that 6 or 9-ish? Kind of?
I love that move.
You know what that looked
Awesome
like?
move.
That looked like when you're on the swing set on the playground and you slightly got a little bit twisted. So it's just kind of a yeah.
I wonder if this guy uses.
Oh, shit.
I wonder if he uses any of these skills at his job at Wells Fargo.
If his gimmick is bank teller, then the like event that he should win the title should be called Wrestling at the Chase.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah,
That's a deep
That was
cut.
good, but boo.
You see, the non-wrestling fan.
Does he have two
There was
shirts
a
and two
venue called
ties on?
Chase. It's
What
Yes.
the just happened?
Yes,
He took,
yes.
he took his dress.
Just really sure.
Wait, what the fuck?
He had another shirt.
He took his shirt off and he had another shirt and tie.
That's like when Sting had like the fake mask on over his real face and stuff.
That is his third shirt.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for the khakis.
That's
to
the
come
third
out
one?
through.
He's got 4 layers on too. How many pants is this guy wearing?
2, 3. Yeah, that's it.
rip off khakis.
Holy shit. Dude, I'm impressed that he was wrestling that whole time wearing that many shirts and ties.
God, he has to do so much laundry after a weekend of wrestling.
I'm having a hard time sitting here just wearing skinny jeans. And
But you know what? He probably gets to write it all off in terms of expenses for work, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because we all pay taxes on our wrestling payouts.
It's all cash, brother. All cash. Oh, we got a little bit of a aftermatch stuff going on here.
Uh-oh.
So, can I give a little peek behind a curtain on this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe, from what I was told, this right here, that right there was supposed to how the match was ended, but there was miscommunication with the ref.
Yeah, I thought I saw something like that.
And yeah, I know. Spoiler alert: wrestling may or may not be predetermined.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because they would have wanted him to be more strong going into that barbed wire match.
Yeah, so yeah, I believe that's what I know.
Oh, it was a
chat
botched finish.
Yeah. The chat is blowing up because I have revealed the secret that wrestling may or may not be predetermined.
This is wild. This is a wild revelation.
Outrageous.
This is news to
Is he
me.
giving away his work clothes?
His way it's tie like the fucking roses with the knights of medieval times. Like, here you go.
Bro, run away, bro.
Coming after. Vince McMahon gonna do
He
that?
chases them all the way.
Medieval times battle that is commentary. That's what we're
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
All right, so next we got the match before intermission.
Ooh,
Yeah,
So this is
big Umaga vibes off the bat, just as far as looks and body style. Like,
boom,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%. Dominican Destroyer Vargas.
ooh,
He's
I like him.
ready to go.
big fan.
He's actually
he's
like
He's
I
not
swear
going
to
to
God, I
want to do
thought it
that
was
back
Jacob
bump.
Fatu for a second.
Right? Yeah.
Is that Jake Paul?
No, he's working. He's in the WWE.
He's booked somewhere else tonight.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and he's the most Samoan-looking non-Samoan.
Right?
Like, it's not his fault. Oh, and here he is,
Hates this
the
guy.
innovator of violence. He needs no introduction.
No, the dude. Tommy Dreamer, love him. I was just watching like some episodes today actually of when ECW came back in 2006. I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes of that.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
I actually think like that like reboot of ECW is underrated because
It's so good.
it's one of those things like for the non-wrestling fans, like ECW was like this more hardcore base, hit each other with chairs, tables, whatnot, which is kind of like hardcore to course these days. And then WWE kind of tried to do a reboot, but more of their brands, but it wasn't like the '90s version, so people would shit on it.
Yeah.
But like there was really good moments from it.
Oh, absolutely.
I will fully admit that having been a fan of 90s ECW, it was hard to watch
Thank you.
a lot of the 2000s. And that's just me being an elitist snob.
Like you had a space that Shelton Benjamin could get a push. You had Matt
Yes,
Sydal,
but you
Evan
know what?
Bourne,
That's no excuse.
Zack Ryder as
I
most
don't want to
annoying.
hear it.
If I remember right, don't they like
Not
beat the
easy,
crap out of each other in this match?
Oh yeah, they kick the shit out of each other.
Didn't say like if I remember right, they beat the crap out of each other.
You know,
Oh, yeah, I expect nothing less.
Right.
and ECW was the truest version of like the equivalent of punk rock in wrestling.
Yeah.
It rewrote rules, and everyone ripped them off and copied them. You know, to a
And-
more sanitized version later on.
And it like what I've understood from the little bit of knowledge of music I have, independent music I have, is you didn't always get paid in cash.
No. Sometimes you got sacks and stuff. And,
Hot dogs.
hot dogs.
Before the show, Tommy Dreamer was out talking to like fans next to that were like out like the kid that's right next to like where our faces are.
Yeah, lower right.
There's like he would talk to them. There's a moment where he's about to wink at a kid, and the kid was like, "He just winked at me," and totally was like freaking out, excited about it.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Love that.
Tommy's a big deal, and
He
You
doesn't
know-
look it though. Like it's crazy.
He does it until you meet him in real life.
On TV. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. He does it. You're right. On TV, he does it. He looks very average, but you meet him in real life, you're like, dude, you're taller than I assumed you would be.
Right. Yeah. Like on TV, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, someone's uncle. But like in person, you're like, oh shit, you're big.
Huge. Which gives you a perspective of like, it's like looking at NBA players on TV when they're all next to each other, or football players, right? Mm-hmm. And then you actually meet one like among civilians, and you're like, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Dreamer's also like, he's done a lot in the business, and it's cool that he does indie shows. I mean, I'm not trying to get into his personal accountant, but I just think it's amazing that like when you've made a name for yourself and you're at his age, you could kind of just phone it in. Like you really could.
Absolutely.
You know, just sort of like do the greatest hits, get out in like 5 minutes, you know.
Right. That's kind of unfortunately what Sabu was like, but dude, that dude's a broken human being at this point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna diss Sabu about not being able to do as much. First of all, he's like not reckless, but he's
no,
like
reckless is the right word.
Yeah.
But like towards his own body as well, and so it's like I remember seeing him in 2011 and being like, "Oh man, how are you doing it?" And he's still like, he'll probably show up again at some indie event or do something.
Yeah,
Man's held together by super glue and an athletic tape.
Literally, like he's the kind that he would get into a barbed wire match and his skin would get cut up, and he would literally like patch it together with super glue because he wasn't going to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that dude is.
That's Born to Be Wild. His match with Terry Funk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, where they got caught and they had to cut him out of it.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so for those who don't know what we're talking about, there was a match where a guy, Sabu and Terry Funk, it's total like cattle barbed wire around the ring, and Sabu does a move, and it kind of miscalculates, and he comes falling down, and a strip of barbed wire just like runs a zigzag down his right bicep. So, like any sensible person, he gets sports tape, or Alfonso Fonzi, his manager, gives him sports tape, and he just starts wrapping it up. And this is, as they say, was not part of the show, kids. Like, just.
I think one of those matches, like they were just wrapped up in barbed wire and couldn't do anything else because they couldn't move, so they ended the match just so they can cut them out.
That was that was
that one.
That happened in that match, and then it happened with a Cactus Jack match they did.
Yeah,
in ECW.
I've heard about barbed wire. I think it was Kenny Omega did an interview and he mentioned like getting advice from deathmatch wrestlers, which is a whole like different kind of wrestling in itself, about how when you play with barbed wire, you actually want it to be sharp and not dull, because you want it to be like able to puncture you and get out, because those are able to heal, because if it's a dull end, it's going to scratch you up, and that's how you end up with more scars base. So if you play with barbed wire, make it sharp barbed wire.
How about no?
I've never had an issue with barbed wire. Like, it's never really bothered me.
Have you done a barbed wire match?
I did barbed wire and 10,000 thumbtacks match. It was both of them at the same time. And the barbed wire wasn't bad. The tacks, when you hit them, they're not bad. It's pulling them out when your adrenaline is wearing off. That's the part that actually kind of sucks.
What's worse, thumbtacks or Legos? Because
Legos. I've done 2 Legos matches in my life. They're both on YouTube. I hate them, but the crowd loves them.
That's amazing.
Like you totally thought I was joking about the Legos, and I was
not. Legos. Seriously, like the 2 Lego matches I have are some of the most painful matches I've ever had in my life.
See, it's kind of like there's a element of wrestling that tries to go into like almost like a provocative style performance art. You know how like there's like people who will take hooks and put them into their back, and that's kind of like considered an art. It's not necessarily the art you want to see. There's like elements of deathmatch wrestling that will do that too. That will have certain spots that's just kind of like, it's like gruesome, but it's also like consensually people doing it like planned ahead just for like shock and awe.
Yeah. Fortunately, this match is just hard hitting without any bells and whistles.
Oh yeah, this is a great match, and yeah, big Umaga vibes. Yeah, I love this. This is a good one.
You know,
I can't tell. Is that a mask or face paint? I can't tell.
That's face paint.
Okay. Okay, sweet.
The more you watch like deathmatch wrestling, the more you realize that like that G.G. Allen guy was just a big old nerd.
Yeah. That being said, fuck G.G. Allen, but my opinion. Yeah. I also don't like a lot of deathmatch wrestlers though, so.
I have a limit, but like I can appreciate certain elements of it.
Yeah. There's a fine line between entertainment and like too far though. And
this is
a lot of them.
This is gonna be. I got a controversial opinion. I'm not a fan of weed whackers in professional wrestling.
I'm into that.
I don't think that's a controversial opinion.
What the hell is a weed?
I will send you a video. Please hold.
It's a thing that cuts weeds.
Hang on.
That's not a euphemism. They just mean they bring a weed whacker and run it on somebody's head
stomach.
Or ankle or stomach.
Here, I got you.
Whatever's not lethal, more or less.
But that's like the most extreme that kind of stuff gets.
Yeah.
I mean, but even like the fluorescent light bulbs will almost kill you if you're not careful.
Yeah. Or like when scalpels get brought out, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Yeah.
But like light tubes, there's a way to kind of do that safely. Like the more that the glass breaks, the more it's a safe element.
Yeah.
Like what ended up hurting David Arquette, I think, was like a fragment of like glass slicing it up.
I know the match you're talking about.
It's insane because it's like everything I'm saying sounds insane, but they got a safe way to do the insane stuff.
Right.
I just think it's, you know.
Oh, he cut off the Dusty Rhodes special.
Yeah.
Boo.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, the polka dots is a little tribute too.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that a Dusty tribute?
Yes, it is.
At least the left side of his leg.
Yeah, that is a Dusty tribute.
Love that.
For those who don't know, what we're talking about is the 1980s, early 90s star Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Yeah, baby.
Oh, he had some matches in the 2000s as well.
Well, hey, his kettlebell match with Carino in 2000 is one of my favorite matches of any kind.
What I want to know is what is the word on his ass? Is it his
Vargas?
His name is spelled Vargas.
Vargas. Got him.
Hey. Naming is such a complex thing. You know, Tommy Dreamer's, I don't even know if that's his real name or not, but it works. Vargas is, it's going to take some work to remember that. How did you guys come up with your names?
Oh, sorry.
I've always wanted to know. Like, Guardrail.
Oh.
Paradox.
So,
Day After.
For us, we were trying to figure out a band name, and like every band name in existence has been taken. And I just happened to be just like, maybe on my way home from work or something like that. I was listening to my iPod, and the song "Guardrail" by Bayside came on, and I was like, "Guardrail's kind of a cool word." And I brought that to the guys that were in the band at the time, and I was like, "You guys down with this?" They're like, "Sure," and that's how it happened. So.
Nice.
Literally, it just was like, oh, that's cool. Let's just take it, because we looked it up. There wasn't any other bands at the time named Guardrail.
That's cool.
So right now, there's a hardcore band in Michigan called Guardrail, but it's 2 words. So it's like, all right, cool. Ours is 1 word.
You're safe. We're good.
And then there's another band called Guardrails, plural.
Different.
It's in Virginia. And then there's a band of a bunch of old like hippie dudes called Guardrail, and we like just struck up a fake internet beef with them. Like we hit them up. They're just like, dude, we're the real Guardrail. And like at the time we had 2 dudes in the band named Kevin, and so did they. So we were just like, there's only room for one band called Guardrail with 2 Kevins in it. And
there's a match right there. Kevin's versus Kevin's. Yeah. Guardrail versus Guardrail.
So
there's been like 5 different people named Kevin in Guardrail throughout the whole history of the band.
do we want to, Scott, because this is the match after intermission. Did you have the part with Tommy's thing in there? I don't know if you. Didn't know.
I can tell you about our band name.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. Or let's just go
All
to this next one. Keep going.
Our band name was discovered. Me and our old drummer Nate, we were skateboarding and went to go to Thornton's to get, like that 69-cent drink, that 44-ounce cup.
69, dude. Nice.
Yeah. So we were.
Great story, Mark.
We may have taken some substances beforehand.
What?
I know. And he's like, what if we call the band the Freedom Paradox? And I was like, oh, that works out. I'm down. So that's how it was. I'm like, oh, we could do political and social issues within songs. And he's like, yeah, I'm 14, but yeah, that sounds good to me. I was like, yeah, sick. And that's how it happened.
And before we play this next clip, Colin.
We're both just like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like,
yeah, that sounds pretty sick. All right, let's do it.
Nice.
Pass me the fucking the honey bun over there.
So I'm the baby of the band. We're young, but we're old. We just celebrated 14 years of the day after this past December.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and we're still fucking going it because we either keep going because we're driven or we're just too dumb to give up. But the day after, so I wasn't around when it was a name, but I could tell, or when it was named. But what the fuck was the original band name? Because this is way better than. Oh, it was called Aftertaste, which gross. But yeah, it's called The Day After. Everybody, each of us kind of has like a different meaning because it's kind of whatever you make of it. So to me, it's like something to strive for. Like life can suck, life can be really hard, but you always gotta make it to the day after, sort of thing. Shane Told from Silverstein says it sounds like a post-apocalyptic movie starring Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, sure, let's go with that. But yeah, so it's kind of like whatever we all make it. So the other guys may say something different, but that's kind of what it means to me.
So who's the youngest? If you're the baby, who's the youngest in your band?
Me. I am the youngest.
How old are you?
I
45.
It's a running bit that I'm just 19 every year. So 93, whatever year that makes me, I was born in 93. So 28, I think.
Okay. Our drummer currently is 17.
Nah, 19. We're sticking with that.
Your drummer is 17.
You can't go backwards, but you can stop counting whenever. I stopped counting at 19.
That's right.
Our drummer is our bass player's little brother, and he's 17 years old. We talked to him a lot about math class,
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
If you go on the road, does he have to sign a waiver with his parents or something?
Well, if we were planning to go on tour, just a couple weekend runs, and we literally had to do that shit where it's like, oh, can you sign away his rights to his brother or to me, where it's fine that he comes to us?
I become his father.
Sign away his rights.
I'm basically his father. I birthed him at age 11, and
as one does.
Yeah, and then that's who I am. I'm his dad. Yeah,
I identify as his dad.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you guys for sharing that. What we have right now is a clip that took place right after Tommy's match. He had an unsuccessful night, but he did this impromptu, and we thought it was really wonderful. So we've kept the clip in right before we went into intermission. So this was Tommy just riffing for us, or riffing for the audience.
Let's see it.
Man, is that an appropriate thing? Hey, straight up, because everybody's here, give yourself a round of applause because we're raising money for an amazing cause. And if I can tell you a little story, because obviously everybody that came here, you get it. But we need to have uncomfortable situations. We need to have uncomfortable conversations. so men and women's mental health is recognized. And this is a digital imprint for the world. I gotta tell you, we've all been there. We've all been sad. We've all been depressed. And I always say this, life is exactly like professional wrestling. You are gonna get knocked down. You are gonna get kicked in the nuts. But you gotta keep on getting up and keep on fighting and keeping on moving forward. And the best part about it, a lot of negative on social media, but you know what, there's also a lot of positive. And reach out to people. Reach out to people that you love. Reach out to total strangers. Tell them your mindset. Tell them what's going on. Because like I said, we've all been there. And to tell you something special, on this day, 33 years ago, I had my first ever wrestling match. It was in a building like this. I had sold 55 tickets to my friends and family. I had the greatest father and mother that supported my dream. And my mom is still alive, she's 83, and she says, what the hell do you still do this shit for? And I say, Mom, because I love it. And there's been times where I didn't have enough money to sleep in a hotel, and a 19-year-old man who was just, I'm sorry, a 19-year-old kid who was beaten up by a 25-year-old man pulled over on 95 in his 1986 Cutlass because the snow tires weren't working. Yes, that was a thing called snow tires. And the snow tires weren't working, and I was too ashamed to call home because I was a professional wrestler, but I had so many great people in my corner. And just like there's so many men and women in the back that have great people in their corner. And after 33 years, and the pandemic made me realize it the most, the greatest people in my corner are each and every one of you. So kids here and people watching at home, please reach out. Yes, life is hard. Life is gonna kick us in the nuts. But think about it. When the entire world shut down, professional wrestling was the only thing that continued. And if I could learn anything, it's my job to help put smiles on people's faces. And if I can escape from the reality of the bullshit of the real world and laugh for one little bit, I have done my job. But your love and reception for professional wrestling, you have done your job. So thank you so much. We're going to take a brief intermission. Let's drink, let's eat, and let's celebrate our love of each other and professional wrestling. Thank you guys. I love you so much.
All right. Hell yeah. What a guy.
That was cool.
Good shit, man. Like I said, that was kind of what I was saying at the start of the match is that, you know, you earn your right or your stake in whatever industry you're in to be, you know, hot shit kind of. He could have just phoned it in, done whatever, 5 minutes and left and like, get away from me, you know, give me an Uber, I'm out. But this, you know, he really puts it in, and I like that. And it's made me think about some of the things. I heard one of the homies from Guardrail yesterday on Sign of the Times talking about all the thought you guys put into Snuzfest and the way you sort of the pillow fight you mentioned tonight, like the way it sort of come together organically. And this is what, the 7th or 6th year that's happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the pandemic never happened, it would have been the 7th year. But yeah, this is the 6th year. We did a virtual one over the pandy, so but yeah, our 6th full live event. Yeah,
I just love the way the story of how it's coming, the pajamas, the whole idea. Like, it just seems like this really natural, organic thing that's like coming together where people can really like have a good ass time.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for Kevin over here. There were pancakes the first Snuzfest. Mike actually gave me a pancake, so I'm wondering, will there be more pancakes this time forward?
Wait. Before you answer that, I want you to know the answer to this question is going to depend on me buying a ticket or not.
Oh no. So we never really looked into that for the future years, but the reason we did it the 1 year, it was actually the second year, it wasn't the first year. We wanted to do it. We were having it at this venue called Wire out in Berwyn in the suburbs
Wire.
here. And yeah, rest in peace. That was like the one venue here that succumbed to the pandemic. But we wanted them to serve pancakes because we're like, that'd be a cool thing. And they're like, we're not a restaurant. We don't have the permits and whatnot to sell food. But they were like, but if you want to do it on your own and like give them away, you can do that. So being that it was like a benefit show, we decided, okay, well, anyone who donates anything, whether it's $1 or $5, $10, whatever, you get a pancake or two. So we just had a little griddle on the table there, and our old guitarist Mike was just like, you know, mixing it up and just cooking some pancakes throughout the night. But that was a long time ago. We don't have the fucking energy or space for that at this. But
Outside the venue
at B Kitchen, we know they have a kick-ass brunch. So if you wanted to, the day of Snuzfest, go there early, have yourself a nice brunch. You know, just let that digest, go home, take a nap, take a snooze, if you will, and then come back for the show. That would be awesome. And they also typically for our Snuzfest at B Kitchen, they will at least serve the breakfast cocktails all night. So you can have yourself a Bloody Mary or a mimosa at fucking 10 o'clock at night if you want. So
all right,
yeah.
all right.
Nice.
I love it.
No pancakes.
And it was am I frozen?
You are frozen.
Videos.
Yeah.
So if I've been,
You're a little chilly.
why is it frozen?
It's
Cold
the
out.
perfect time of year.
Frozen.
Now
So
you're-
that made me think of like Always Sunny. Like, what is your pancake policy?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know where you were going with this because I don't know about the pancake thing. But when you started saying that, you were like, "Yeah." So at the first Snuzfest, Mike gave me a pancake, and I was actually wondering, will you sign this for me, or like you like still had it or something?
Can I get my pancake autographed?
Yeah.
Give me a pancake. I still have it this day. It's
Yeah.
framed.
I saw that styrofoam plate right here.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of wedding cake. He's got it in the fridge.
You're right. It's
Actually-
green and shit, but whatever. It's a part of history. You know?
I actually did keep a paper plate from my first Warped Tour because I couldn't afford
Aw.
merch or anything. So like that's what I got signed by all the bands and stuff. So like I still have a
Nice.
paper plate somewhere signed by random
I mean,
people that I don't know
that
who
sounds
it's
even
signed by.
better.
But
At least it's signed. And you just save a paper plate. You're just like, this is my Warped Tour plate, and
Yeah.
it's just nothing about it. It's just
Yeah.
like greasy.
yeah.
Did you ever see Katy Perry at Warped Tour?
That was
Man.
the year after or the year before I went. My first was 2009.
Like, it still boggles my mind that was someone on a lineup.
I went that year and I didn't see her because she was playing at the same time as another band I wanted to see. And then, like, in retrospect, I'm like, man, I wish I would have just
Yeah.
gone to see her instead because fuck.
I saw Tim McElrath from Rise Against in a bike trail like 2 years ago, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're my idol!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, come to a show." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been to 40. Thanks."
He's like, come to 41.
"Yeah." And I'm like, "All right, yes sir, whatever you want."
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I
Oh
think
my God.
I think Ken, I gave you my ticket
Oh,
that
yeah,
we
there it
had
is.
to go see them for like the 41st time.
And I'm back. All right, thank you for filling up time there, everyone. Good combo,
Yeah.
good chat, good chat. Let's get the next matchup.
Let's do it.
Ryan, you said you got a jet, or you gonna stick around?
I will stick around. I got till like 8 o'clock now, so we're
Oh,
good.
sweet. All
You're
right,
gonna keep pushing your time back now.
push it to the limit. Okay, we got Lena Cross and Brandy Lauren next. What
This is an amazing. I don't know what this is, but it's a.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I was gonna say this isn't the same match. The same.
We're gonna get a
Same
copyright
event.
strike.
Oh no.
We're gonna hit the 15 seconds.
Drop a beat for us. You ready? So, clap.
You gotta cut it out, or at least mute it.
All right. Now we're doing commentary and opinions because that's how Twitch works.
Stop, clap, stop, clap.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Man.
It's funny. This wasn't that crazy as far as like pro wrestling goes on TV and mainstream. It's one of my more favorite versions. I mean, it can't be Boy Meets World Invader, but you know, it's up there.
I mean, that is a high. That's up there.
Can we also point out that Buff Bagwell and Booker T were on an episode of Charmed, where they wrestled the Charmed sisters?
That's incredible.
And if you lost to Buff Bagwell or Booker T, you were sent to hell.
Fuck yeah.
I was really into Charms at one point. How did I not know this?
I swear, look it up. It is hilarious because it is the most 90s possible.
Well, I'm a sucker for lore, so I will watch Charmed from season 1, episode 1, just to get to that point and then be done with it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember
Year.
in the '70s show when The Rock and Shamrock were on an episode.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to think.
that's like first or second season. I feel like.
Yeah, it's pretty early. So we got Lena Cross. Lena is from Australia, I think.
No
She's worked in
Right.
Japan and a few other places in the States, but I don't know too much about Lena.
I like her gear. I'm a big fan of blue.
Speaking of think of blue. This is actually for the promotion WrestlePro. This is actually like a tournament match for their first inaugural women's championship.
Cool.
So this is like a round robin thing, and they added it on kind of late before, like 2 weeks before we went before they came.
Oh, cool. She's in Sendai Girls in Japan.
Okay.
Like, if you want to get like really discreet hipster level, like the it wrestling right now, is women's wrestling in Japan, because they don't hold back. They're like really athletic. They beat the shit out of each other, and they'll also do like girl group like dance routines and stuff. Like, it's Japanese women's wrestling is like the coolest thing in the world.
They're honoring I can never say Toyota's first name, but I get to
I know
be
what
at
you're
a
talking
Legends
about.
event in 2000 when she came to the States on a rare appearance.
Oh, Miami Toyota.
Yeah.
I had a Toyota once.
I was just gonna say, my second car was a Toyota Camry.
Put it all together.
What year?
99.
So one of my favorite Facebook groups is called Camrys with Dented Bumpers. And that's all it is. Just Camrys with dented bumpers spotted in the wild. And God help you if you post a Corolla with a dented bumper, they will eat you alive.
Oh man, gotta be a Camry.
That's a death
Telling
punch.
What about
snowing
that?
out here, and we were going out to dinner with my folks, and my brother was like, "But it's snowing," and I'm like, bro, I delivered pizzas through like a blizzard in like 99 Camry. It's fine. It's snowing like 2 inches. Relax.
I love snow.
Can I cheap plug something while this match is going on?
Do it.
Always plug.
Brandy Lauren gear is made by one of the best gear makers ever.
Oh,
And I'm going to put her over and over again because she is like an awesome gear maker. And I'm pretty sure she made that set for Brandy. I know she made a red set, but I'm pretty sure she made that set as well. She's based out of Chicago. We're going to try to talk to her someday soon. But yeah,
Cool.
she makes all my stuff now. Her name's Lucha Lady on Instagram, and incredible gear for a bunch of people. And because she made Brandy's gear here. Oh, she made my gear that I was wearing earlier. Yeah, I had to cheap plug her real quick.
Yeah, that's actually a cool thing you bring up. If you know, it's one of those things you don't really think about, but like, it's not like you can just go to Dick's Sporting Goods and pick up your wrestling gear, you know, this original stuff. And good clothiers or good makers is a hard thing to find.
Well, good makers that are dependable is a very hard thing to find, and thankfully she is incredibly dependable and tells you exactly the way it is as far as deadlines go, and all the love and respect for her in the world.
That's cool. She's got a cool story because she started out pretty, you know, just in in our house on her own, and she's like really built a huge reputation in the business.
She's making
That's
a
awesome.
lot of AEW's gear now, and I think that's incredibly cool.
It's all like the peripheral parts of the job. It's like there's being on stage, but something I tell people, like my younger nephews and who are getting to college and interested in entertainment, I'm like, you know what? If you can play and do something on the stage side, that's great. But if you really want to be in entertainment and have a durable career, master sound or lighting.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone always needs a sound or lighting engineer.
Honestly, that's something that people have been asking me about lately because I've done touring as a performer and I've done touring as crew. And as a performer, it's obviously more fun, but I'm the one paying people. And when I'm working crew, I'm the last one to go to bed, but I'm making bank. Like I just did a tour. I was one of the merch managers for Ninja Sex Party at their end of their last tour.
Ninja Sex Party.
Oh my god, nicest dudes by the way. Like so, they're sweethearts, absolutely. But like, and their fans are a bunch of puppy dogs. They will listen to whatever you want. Nicest fans in the world. You could be like, all right, if you guys want merch, you got to line up shortest to tallest, and they'll be like, oh okay, and they'll fucking figure it out. But yeah, no, it was awesome. But yeah, I made bank. That was the best tour I've been on.
Furries?
What's that, Ryan?
I said, when you mean like puppy dogs, do you mean like the furries?
Hey.
Yeah.
Just the furries?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There were a couple that came out.
For record, that elbow she hit her with in the corner was loud as hell.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and I've got one of my best friends is in a band, local band, and I can tell you right now, people that run sound for bands are, if you're good, you are a god in my opinion, because I've heard ones that are bad, and no matter how great the band plays, it sounds terrible. And so for someone to be able to take what you guys create and make it work in a different venues and whatnot, I really admire that.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's not just what you're recording or what you're mixing, it's the room that you're mixing too. And people that can mix something like take a 200 cap room and make it sound just as good as a 5,000 cap room or vice versa, like that's incredible, and they deserve all the praise for making that show sound awesome.
Have you guys ever had a production nightmare, or what has been your biggest production nightmare at a performance?
Every show.
Ooh. Yeah.
Fair
Every fucking show.
Yeah, TDA stands for technical difficulties always.
The vocals are never loud enough for the center vocal.
Yeah. We pride ourselves on our stage presence, like, because it's just a fact. Not everyone's gonna love what you sound like, so we try to make it a point where if you don't like the sounds we make, you'll at least like our visual show, because we kind of go nuts. And us going nuts sometimes like shakes the stage, and we use some backing tracks for like a third guitar and like some violin stuff, and all the movement has ruined a lot of laptops and stuff. Not ruined the laptops, but like ruined what the laptop's trying to do. And so it fucks up almost every show.
Do you guys,
so we try something new.
use in-ear monitors though, or no?
No, I don't like in-ears. I don't like whether they're like, I like over-ear stuff, but I can't play in that obviously. But like in-ear stuff or like AirPods type things, I have never liked those at all.
I got you. We're on the cusp of like, do we try in-ears? Because every time we fucking, like last time we played a show, I sprained my neck playing the show.
Okay.
And I was like first 30 seconds in, I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and my voice blew out. I'm like, if we had in-ears, it would solve X problem. But at the same time, I don't know if that would fix.
Here's a little bit of, I always wondered, what is it? You're talking about the thing, it looks like an earplug or an earpiece, right?
Yeah.
What are you listening? What's in there? What's happening?
What you are playing.
Like it's just like a direct feed of
it's
like
click too, right? The click, the drummer.
Yeah, it's like your own personal mix.
Yeah, so like usually you'll see like when you go to a show, there are obviously the big speakers facing out towards the crowd, and then there's some speakers on the stage aiming back towards the band or the performers. That's so we can hear, like on my side, I hear a little more bass than what everybody else is hearing, so I can hear if anything I'm doing is out of tune or anything like that. Dan, actually, our drummer, he's the only one, he does have in-ears.
Okay.
Back, because he runs the tracks from the laptop back by the drums, and but so basically he gets a click and he hears he doesn't hear just the track playing, he hears like basically what our songs sound like he listens to the actual song pretty much. So to him we sound perfect every time, but he doesn't know how bad everything's going.
Okay. I always wondered, like, is it just dampening the sound, because it's loud, or?
Somewhat, it can. It does double serve as like ear protection, or it can, but it's mainly so you can hear what, like more individual parts of how you want a personal mix of things sounding. Me personally, I don't like a lot of vocalists. Like, they're like, "Hey, can I get more of me in my monitor?" I hate hearing my voice. Like, when I hear my voice, I think too much about it and I fuck everything up. But if I can't hear it, it's usually fine.
And then I guess for me, I would love to have drums, a click, and then honestly, my voice cranked as loud as it could possibly go.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me hear my voice. That's all I care about during the set. It's like, am I messing up this part or this part? I need to know.
Right. Yeah. If people tell me I messed up too, I'm like, well, I didn't hear it. It sounded fine to me because I couldn't hear shit. So
that's how I'm like, okay, well, if I heard my own voice and I thought I sounded good, I'm like, your opinion does not matter. I'm
right.
like, I think I did a great job. All right. Leave it at that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I've done enough public speaking, especially in large groups, that like,
hey,
if your mic goes out, sometimes you can't hear that it's out. You think you're talking, right. and you gotta see people's faces go blank or be like, what the fuck? You're like,
right.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, that's another good point.
Hey, I believe it's Lena Cross got the win. Good people.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are talking about stage presence. About a year ago, I saw a band named Tiger Sex play.
Oh, hell yeah. I know Tiger Sex.
Yep. And first time I'd seen them, during the first or second song, she was singing and jumping around and fell off the stage to the concrete.
Yeah.
Did not break at all, just kept going and finished the song, laying on the ground, and then got up and got back on stage like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll buy a t-shirt. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. So I'm not a superstitious person, but I had this one pair of shoes that I have played every show I've ever played in. I call them, they're like, I wear Vans all the time, but these are Chuck Taylors. I call them my Good Luck Chucks. And I have played 3 shows not wearing those shoes just because like, oh shit, I got to get on stage and I forgot to switch shoes. And all 3 of those have resulted in like lots of blood or broken bones on me. So
oh no,
like falling off the stage, like my foot basically spun around falling off a stage.
Whoa!
There's a house show. I jumped up and I hit a light bulb, and there was just like full on ECW coming down my face. So yeah, there's a couple. Yeah.
So if I ever meet you, I'm going to ask you what shoes you're wearing immediately.
The Chucks. And they are, like I said, I played every show I've ever played in them besides those couple, and they are beat to shit. The bottom, there's no tread on. It's so slick. Like, they're like bowling shoes. Like, they're so slippery. And like toes are coming out and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be wearing them at Snuzfest.
The first 2 people that Cole Cabana hugged are like really cool old school wrestling fans in the area. Like,
I was gonna say he stole that old man's hat.
Like that guy has been watching pro wrestling since like the International Amphitheater on the south side of Chicago had like AWA shows.
That's
NWA
like
Chicago.
1960s, 1970s.
Yeah, he was there.
Maybe Jack Pfeffer days as far back. And that's if you've ever driven on a highway or seen a billboard in Chicago, that's cool.
Yeah,
1 hour
Colt Cabana's a
tease.
good dude. I just found, like, I just got rid of a bunch of DVDs, and I found amongst them, like, Chikara $5 Live DVD.
Oh, there you go.
And
Nice.
he was in that, and I'm like, oh, I'm throwing this on. It was dope.
Yeah, so on top of Colt's obviously Colt and Gray Trunks is Justin Carino, which much to my chagrin, no relation to Steve Carino, ECW legend, current WWE employee, I think.
Yeah, he's like
What?
backstage, I think.
Yeah, but no relationship.
So I think I moved to the city around 2012, and so like when I would be in places like Wicker Park, I would sometimes see Colt Cabana riding his bike around the city,
Oh.
like on Milwaukee Avenue.
But the billboards too. I was doing the billboard, but I get it. Yeah. Colt's originally from up near my place of origin, Deerfield, Illinois area. Shout out to the North Burr boys.
I always assumed he knew me as because I used to work Jimmy John's around there, so I think for a while he probably knew me as just Jimmy John's, or like, hey, it's Wicker Park Jimmy John's.
Yeah, just
Like I'm assuming that's how he labeled me in his mind for a little while.
I want to do a quick shout out for Justin Carino also. He is not related to Steve Carino, but he has something called Justin Strong. And I'm only saying this because he's made it very public. He has a fundraiser program called Justin Strong for his son, who was recently diagnosed with leukemia. And for those watching now or in the future, you can just search hashtag Justin Strong on social media. But if you look up Justin Carino's social media, you'll be able to see him and see the cause that he works for. If you see the little orange ribbon on his trunks, that's part of the thing he's supporting.
Okay.
So just a little shout out there.
Nice. Justin Strong, you
and
said?
for Justin Strong.
Okay.
Carino
And for
is
the
Corino.
Yeah.
I'll
For
check
the
that out.
uninitiated, Colt Cabana is a freaking staple of the Chicago indie scene. He's a legend.
Since like 2002, maybe. Or
Yeah, well,
2001?
earlier. And if I wanted to write
yeah,
an
maybe
essay
earlier.
about like modern wrestling and podcast revolution and everything, you could kind of make a case that Colt kind of helped start that stuff.
But if
He was
you
the
want to hear
first-
more Colt Cabana, NPR has a Chicago show called Curious City, and they did a early Chicago wrestling episode that Colt Cabana would pop up on.
He's really fascinating. He was really maybe even one of the first guys to figure out how to like leverage social media as a brand, as an independent contractor, which, if you're a band, it's the same thing, right? He really sort of was one of the first to crack the code on being engaging when, most people just had a MySpace page with how to contact them for bookings.
And that was like after he was in the WWE for a while and was like just not being used or anything, and then ended up being released, and then found a way to like create like a career renaissance, just like using his own resources and old tools and stuff.
Art of wrestling. And
so like there's
fun,
a lot of wrestling podcasts now, and he was like one of the first like originators of it.
yeah. Fun fact, my first indie show, non-WWE or ECW show, was MCW at College of Lake County, 2001, and the car featured Vic Capri, Amazing Red, a all-white trunks American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, which is why I went, because I read he was Shawn Michaels' first student, and as an HBK mark. And the second match on the card was CM Punk versus Colt Cabana, and they were doing their sort of chain comedy thing that they would take to other places. Good stuff.
That's awesome.
I still have the flyer from the event.
Dope.
My first indie would have been 2005 Ted Petty Invitational, which was a company called IWA Mid-South. Kevin Steen was on the show. IWA Mid-South is kind of a punchline now, but they had some really good stuff back in the day. It was Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens, Matt Seidel, Seth Rollins was on the show. Bryan Danielson took on Chris Hero. Jimmy Jacobs, Chuck Taylor. They had a bunch of people on it
I'll
that
give
are
you
like
one,
on
Nathan.
TV now.
My first IWA show that I
nice.
went to was Strong Styles Tournament 2004 in Streamwood, Illinois. And
Nice.
that was the first time I saw Too Sweet Larry Sweeney.
Love
Or Sweet and Sour. Jesus. Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney. And my favorite match is my introduction to Chris Hero versus... It was Chris Hero and Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. Nice. So like strong style for the non-wrestler fans is like more emphasis on like giving each other like elbows
Making
to
it
the
look as
face
real as possible.
or chopping. Oh no, they like literally like will chop and like be stiff. Like it will hurt. It's more of a stiff style. It's like more based in kind of a Japanese like AJPW kind of style. It's a more tough like we're gonna beat the crap out of each other style.
Nice.
We need to figure out a way to try to get an audio clip from Eddie Kingston about mental health, because he seems like a very big advocate for it, and I feel like that's somebody that I would love to connect with at some point for that.
He had
there's
an
like
amazing article.
The Players Tribune.
What was it called?
The Players Tribune.
The Players Tribune, yeah. Good stuff.
I think
Talking about
he would be a
his
good
life.
person to reach out to for something like that.
You ain't kidding.
That's the greatest pin combination ever. That Superman.
Oh, I love that. That was a good match.
That's a good comeback.
So it's...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go on, Nate.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, go on, Kidd Riot.
No, you're good. I don't remember. I lost my train of thought and I was trying to cover it up.
That's fair. Well, I was going to ask, so how many of you guys said who don't watch or never watch it at all, right? Kevin and Ken?
Right.
Yeah, not really.
Used to watch back when I was a kid, but
Okay.
been a while.
How's this working for you now?
It's definitely entertaining.
Yes.
For a little bit, a few years ago, I was between jobs, and my roommate at the time worked at some shitty like douchey nightclub and was like, "Yo, if you want to come sweep floors and whatever, just for some extra cash while you're getting back on your feet, I got you." So I was doing that, and it was like a 4 a.m. club, which was actually on the weekends a 5 a.m. club. So it was open all night, and I didn't get out of there till 6:30 in the morning. So we get out of there. It's 6:30 a.m. People are going to work. We're coming home from work, and there was a 24-hour Subway sandwich shop down the street from our apartment. So we'd walk in there, get 6:30 a.m. Subway sandwiches, go back to the apartment, and we'd find luchador wrestling, and we'd just watch that in the morning and eat our sandwiches and then go to sleep for.
That's a whole nother world too.
It was very weird, but very cool. And I've had a lot of friends that are into wrestling, so I've always kind of heard about it. And every now and then it'll be kind of one of these things. I'm kind of sitting there, they're watching it. I'm sort of just watching it as such like an outsider, and just kind of enjoying it that way. Whereas I'm not too invested. I'm just like, hell yeah, let's see some wild shit. And that's exactly
Lucha Libre.
right now.
Lucha
you're gonna
Libre,
get
the
a-
more.
I was gonna say you're gonna get a bit of wild shit in this match. This has got some big old hostels coming up.
Yeah.
Donovan and Trax are probably some of the bigger, like taller, bigger guys,
Yeah. These dudes
and
are
some of
bigger
the
than
more
me.
polished pros. I'd say.
I know Trax. He sings that song Headstrong, right? And we brought it back around. Okay.
I think he's in the NWA, I believe, with Joe Alonso from
We
earlier.
will take on anyone, dude.
They should write a song about that.
Who are other guys? Aren't there? I mean, isn't Brody King and what band is Brody King? Is it Brody King or is it Butcher?
The Butcher
No, it's
was in
Brody.
a band.
Every time I die.
Butcher was in a band.
Who's in Every
but
Time I Die?
Butcher.
Butcher is, yeah.
Yeah. Or it was. They're not a band anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
Andy Williams.
First of
Andy
all,
Williams.
if that dude walks up to me, Butcher, as a wrestler or as a musician, I don't want to talk to him. I'm terrified of that man.
Oh, he will eat you. He actually is a sweetheart, but
I was in a metalcore band for a bit. We played with Every Time I Die once, and he was the sweetest man.
yeah, he's very nice.
So I want to
his
put over
name
the
is,
guy you see on camera right now, Kevin Matthews, is he's the boss, WrestlePro basically, and worked with me directly in putting this event together. And he's just a top-notch guy. Can't say enough about him, and just want to shout him out. He's going to be on tomorrow's show tomorrow. He's going to be on Sunday, tomorrow on Sunday. He's going to be on tomorrow's show. Just going to keep going to that loop.
So his partner, Falaba, so a little when we were upstairs and you were so gracious enough to get us all food for everyone that wrestled. It was his first time having Chicago style pizza.
Oh, I heard that.
Nice.
Have you heard this story?
No. I just he had mentioned it, but
it was his first time. So after having about half a slice, he proceeded to grab his phone and call someone from New Jersey and sing the praises of Chicago style pizza while eating it because he was that blown away by how good it was.
Wow.
And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen because he was genuinely like in love and excited about this pizza.
Nice.
Like if you could find anyone that loves you as much as he loved this pizza, you're set for life.
My plan is every time they come, I'm going to get a different sort of catering system going. But I played it safe for the first time and just got him loose because, can't go wrong.
Yeah. It was delicious, but he was blown away by it and to the point that he had to call someone and tell them about it.
This might be my favorite match on the card.
This was a fun match.
I think because I was running around so much during the show, this might have been the only match that I was able to watch start to finish.
You rolling him in.
Is it a hot take that I hate Chicago pizza?
Ooh,
that's a little bit hot.
I was about to say that too. I like
Really?
Chicago. I was about to say, okay, so I'm from Chicago originally, actually. Like I live in Indianapolis, but last place I lived was Palatine. But I'm from all around like those western suburbs area, and a little bit in the city. But I love Chicago thin crust.
Yeah,
Hate
okay.
Chicago deep dish.
Yes.
Thin crust is a different story.
Yeah.
Tavern style food. Yeah.
It is not good.
If you're watching along, Carl's reaction is pure anger right now.
I'm being respectful. You're my guest. It's all good.
Yeah. Deep dish pizza is a gimmick that doesn't have to take any bumps.
It doesn't have to be called deep dish. It could just be called pizza, real pizza.
It doesn't seem like pizza to me.
I love it, but it's an every now and then thing. Like it's not something you can have all the time because it's so fucking thick and just full, and it just makes you.
It's
feel
hard
like
bread with tomato.
Ain't nothing wrong with
it's
thick.
so good. You get enough toppings in there. You get some pepperonis in there. Some, it's just whatever the hell you want in there. And it's
Y'all give me a hungry
pizza place.
My hot take is
that shit is phenomenal without anything to do with like Illuminati's like thick crust shit or soup.
I mean, I'll argue which is the best, Chicago, if you want to call it that. Now, thin crust, Barnaby's, anybody? Barnaby's?
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
Barnaby's.
I don't know Barnaby's.
They're mostly all gone, right?
I think so.
There's only a handful.
Yeah.
There was one out in Schaumburg where we originally are from, and I think that's no mas, right? It's gone.
There is a place called Dan's Pizza, like a mile from my house in Downers Grove, like the west suburbs. The greatest thin crust pizza you'll ever had.
You say Dan?
Say again?
Dan's Pizza in Downers Grove.
Oh, wait, you're from, that's right, you're DG area. So you like Dan's. I gotta tell you, best pizza I ever had might be Little Pops. Over there in Naperville.
I want to say this place burned down. It was a while ago, but JJ Twigs was a place I remember having my favorite pizza.
JJ Twigs.
I want to say that was Palatine or Ligzer. But I can't remember.
For about 5 years, I worked at a pizza place in Schaumburg called Old Town Pizza, and they have some of my favorite pizza I've ever had. It was like my family's pizza place before I even started working there.
Okay, I think I went there.
It's really tasty. I delivered pies there for about 5 years. Like that,
Nice.
I lived there for a long time. I grew up kind of in that area. I grew up in Streamwood, actually. You mentioned Streamwood earlier. I lived there until I was about 12, and then we moved to Schaumburg. And, like, my folks still live in that house to this day.
So when I was like 11 or 12, I met John Cena at that GameWorks in the Woodfield Mall.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Yeah.
I used to work also at that movie theater in the streets of Woodfield.
Oh really?
For about a year and a half, yeah.
I sold clothes to Mick Foley at that Macy's in Woodfield.
All right, the only reason
Mick Foley is a sweetheart. I love that man.
The only reason I like Dan's Pizza is because Joe from Rise Against, the bass player, did a con carne, like sitting in the car and shit at Dan's Pizza, and he's like, "You gotta try this pizza." I'm like, "Okay." And
You're wishing like a man.
Yeah, so I might be a little biased, but
that's fair. Well, the big man's getting in. Now, what are they gonna do? That's an immovable object.
Oh, get down.
You put me in the ring with this guy, I would have to weigh in about 45 seconds.
That's pretty optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to sound cool, right?
That's just good heel work right there. Taking that second away right at the moment.
Get down.
Who's this fucking redwood tree on the left side? Jesus Christ.
That's the ref.
hey, hang on. I want to point out that ref set up this ring, refereed all night, and then tore it all down.
What a dude.
Yeah,
Not
like
just this,
superstar.
Like a bunch of shows in the area.
Yeah, he is. He's a good dude.
Nice.
I also want to point out from this angle, he looks like Eric Andre.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, true.
Oh. That's uncomfortable.
Right in the nuts. Fall.
Is this the roly-poly?
Fall.
I don't know.
He's good.
Is the guy Filipino? He says his attire has the sun and 3 stars.
He is a Filipino.
Cool. Yes, he is, AJ. I found that out all by myself. I mean, I knew that from the get-go. I didn't ask for help.
Let's ask the hard-hitting questions.
This is quite possibly one of the greatest wrestling moves of all time if they actually do it.
Yeah, you got to be careful, though. It's devastating. Maka! Not the steamroller!
That was awesome.
Man, my cousin used to date this dude who said that he would go to hardcore shows, and when they would start a circle pit, he was like a pretty big guy. What he would do is he would just lay down and just log roll the opposite direction.
Oh, fuck.
John broke his face.
There are a few things more that I appreciate wrestling than just good comedy ridiculousness.
I love it.
What a bit.
Oh, this audience has no mercy. They're asking for him to do it again. Hasn't he suffered enough? My God.
So, I'm loose buddies with Lil Nate, Charles Robinson, and I found this clip that I had to show him and be like, yo, what the fuck was this about? But basically, I think it was a house show. So he basically does like a one-handed cartwheel into the pit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. That dude's a cartoon. I love him.
Okay,
and he also sets up and tears down the ring every night.
The hard camera and Nathan's camera cut, that's just beautiful. Scott, well done.
Yeah, absolutely great editing.
Oh man, that's great. These two had the whole audience eating out of their hands.
Absolutely, and if I'm these guys, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm good. I've had two grown men roll over me. I'm good. I'm done.
We've all been there, right? Fucking yelling at a guy while holding your nut.
Yeah.
Not my worst Saturday night, you know.
Yeah, worst baptism ever.
Ken and I are about to do that later.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a pretty awkward dentist appointment, if I'm being honest.
Suddenly they're just like, sir, you have to leave this Olive Garden.
That
Oh, I love it. I'll take
No.
my business elsewhere.
Yeah, we don't shame the OG in this chat.
Oh, I shamed the OG in this chat. No. I'm a Carabas guy.
Ooh, you fancy.
Yeah, I spring that extra $2.
Why did I tell my shit? Remember Quiznos? Such a
I do. There was one next to the shoe carnival in my hometown.
Ah, man.
only the
Shoe
commercials.
carnival.
Is Quiznos still real?
The
They exist.
Spong Monkeys.
Yeah,
That's why this generation's so damaged is Quiznos commercials. That's why we're emotionally damaged.
Yeah, I read that they like,
That's
put
why.
X on it. I remember our fucking like freshman year high school science teacher like was talking about
Those
monkeys
chops.
that they had used to
Oh.
like Photoshop in and everything because that was such a thing. People were like, "What monkeys did they even use?" And he like pulled up a whole presentation on it.
Jesus.
Weird ass commercial.
Those chests are just getting redder.
Oh, you locked it.
Slap.
Hey, you know how you fake chops in wrestling?
How?
You don't. That's
Yeah,
literally
okay,
you're just literally slapping another man in the chest.
Yeah, that's how you get the Kofi Kingston chest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a big old dent.
I mean, for me, that's just foreplay, but
Hey, we're not shaming. We're not shaming. That's fine. That's what you're into.
Once again, not my worst Saturday night.
I'm not ready to go till I am pink as a
Yeah.
salmon.
It's getting turned on over here.
Just looks like ground chuck, uncooked.
I'm very
the
aroused.
Kingston chest, by the way, is the guy has been chopped so much that his abs have started to like split down the middle. So like they've started to go to the side
Oh Jesus!
just because of so many chops.
Or it's like Steiner chest. I think it's Scott Steiner recently.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a good
his.
story.
I
I
not
like that
seen it
I like that they can't drag him because he's so big.
Yeah.
So they're like trying to drag him. It's just not happening.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest here. So I have been playing a lot of WWE 2K22 lately, and I'm getting very thrown off that I can't see health bars right now.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know who's winning.
And you know what's funny? This hard cam is actually a real, like, the game sort of level. The angle and everything.
So yeah, there's no
Yeah,
special
exactly.
bars.
Yeah. I'm not seeing triangle or X pop up when it's time to counter.
Oh, man. Eric Andre's losing control of this match.
You gotta pull out that mangina.
That's
Oh,
the
follow.
signature move.
That'll get control real fast.
Hit him with the mangina.
Yeah,
The old dick twist.
the old tuck.
Yeah.
It's the arms in that clip for me. The old dick twist. Oh my god.
We,
that's a nice one, dude.
I was doing a family show, like mostly kids and parents, and I had a buddy who was there, and he just kept yelling that repeatedly to the point that the ring announcer stopped before one of the matches. Said, "Sir, who keeps yelling dick twist? This is a family show. Can you please stop?"
Sir, this is a Carrabba's, please.
Yeah.
So I decided that I want to someday get a T-shirt that says, "This is a family show. Please stop saying dick twist."
That's awesome.
Oh, it legitimately gets said at least once at every show I've been in the last like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, absolutely.
You've just given me an idea for my band name. It'll be This Is a Family Show.
Yeah.
Taking dibs.
On the back of the shirt, it'll just say "Twist that dick."
Yeah.
That's the first single, buddy. Or at least the
Guardrail
EP title.
plugin.
I don't know. I'm working on it.
The EP done.
I want to
That's the
say
name
it's
of our
the
album.
very
Who told
first
you guys?
Royal Rumble. Like one of the first matches in the very first Royal Rumble is Rick Rude, and I don't remember who else, but all I remember is this.
Haku.
There's a woman like on camera side, like looking right at her. She has an air horn, and she is being so obnoxious with it. And Rick loses his fucking mind at her. And like there's like a slight cut, like people walk over to her and you see her and she's getting furious with her. And there's like a cut of like a replay or something, and then it cuts back and she doesn't have the air horn anymore and she looks so fucking shitty.
They took that shit away.
Yeah.
Oh,
But like they didn't take it away
Hamburger
for
helper.
literally like 15-20 minutes.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
you tried. She wasn't gonna listen. Take her shit away.
But like I think if I remember correctly, Rick Rude literally like talked to like security or something. It's like, dude, get the fucking thing.
I have an air horn app on my phone that I like to blast off all the time. Just
nice.
All right, friends. I got to take off for tonight.
Hey, Ryan, it's been a pleasure, brother.
Good chatting with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Stoked to play with you.
we'll see you at the snooze, son.
Hell yeah.
See you at the snooze, sir.
Big old cuddle puddle.
Hell yeah.
It will be a puddle.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us, Ryan. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
See you,
All right,
Ryan
take
one.
care. You guys
Later,
well.
buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right, now that the nerd's gone.
I've been waiting to see who was gonna say something.
No, he's a cool dude. I'm stoked to play with them.
No, yeah, he seems like good people.
Yeah.
Man, we've been buddies with Ryan for like so long, and I think we've only maybe played like one show together in that whole time. We've been buddies ever since. We played together like, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. And I don't think we've played a show since. We've gone to a bunch of shows together. We've gone to see Rise Against with him a couple of times. And,
Oh, cool.
yeah, he's a good dude.
Ryan heard the nerd comment. He's
He just texted and said, "I will ruin Snuzfest." Bring it, Ryan. I'd like to see you ruin it more than we would.
Bra and panties match. Let's go, Ryan.
I would have put good
Oh,
finish.
you already
there.
know. Boom.
He was like, you know what, this is good. I'm just gonna sit on you now, and we're done for the night.
Yo.
That sounds like a finish to me.
Yeah,
Hey, this nice cruise by. There's only 2 more matches and we're out of here. But that was fun.
Oh yeah, there is.
They really put this together. You know, one of the things that I like about these kind of shows is the fact that like you always have a chance for people to like, you know, you may not like one match, you may like it's like a 3-ring circus, and a lot of times when you have like a rock show or I mean any kind of show, it's really tricky to mix up genres, right? Like it can get messy when you try to put a bunch of different genres on like one show. But in wrestling, that's kind of the science is you want like kind of a mix. If you don't like the high flyers, maybe you like the women's match. If you don't like the women's match, there's a comedy match or whatever.
Well, and I would say Cam really put together a good variety card like that on this night. Like it felt like a buffet where if you didn't like one thing, there was plenty of other things you would enjoy. Like I feel like he did a really good job putting that together. I will be a little selfish and say I wish he would have done like a traditional lucha match, but other than that, I think he did a killer job putting this card together.
Yeah, no, this has been a blast. I've only been to one indie show before, and it was White River Wrestling. Couldn't tell you if it had like a special title or anything like that. That was like 2013 or so. And unfortunately, it wasn't too the most enjoyable part was like all the actual locals. But Jimmy Wang Yang was there. I'm like, oh, this should be kind of fun.
I want to meet him.
He was blitz drunk, and I'm just like, oh, this is kind of a bummer. Like it was a lot of woof kind of thing. So
I'm not sure if he still does it, but Jimmy Wang Yang was like, I think he drove like a party bus. I think in maybe like Ohio or something, and that was his post WWE gig.
Interesting.
Hey, here in our chat over here,
Yeah.
I was gonna answer this real quick for
Oh, yeah.
Aaron. Yeah. So a lot of times you don't like because referees plan multiple matches. A lot of times it's just, hey, is there anything I need to know that is non-traditional? And do you guys want to tell me how it's going to end, or you just want me to count like everything could be the ending? So a lot of times you don't really have a chance to talk to them. But thankfully, also a lot of times you do have the same referees for different same companies or same areas. So a lot of them will start to learn your stuff and just kind of know. And referees are so underappreciated in wrestling and for that purpose because they do tend to remember. But for the most part, it's pretty much, hey, here's some quick notes, and 5 more people are going to give you quick notes about 5 different more matches. So good luck out there.
Oh yeah, refs totally add to the show. One of my favorites in the area is this guy named Perch, P-E-R-C-H.
Dan Perch.
Yeah, and like he is aware of his facial expressions at all time. He like his body like mannerisms is always good, and like referees also most of the time have like somebody in their ear because they might be streaming on pay-per-view or internet, so someone's telling them the information to find a way to relate to the wrestlers. Like, you have 5 minutes left, or you have this many minutes left.
And because you brought it up, I'm going to run off that. Dan Perch is by far one of the greatest referees I've ever had the pleasure to work with. Is just an incredible talent, the nicest guy on the planet. I keep telling him that I got to get a picture with him because he's going to become famous someday, but he's so humble about it. And I would expect to see him on TV in the next year. If he doesn't, it's an absolute travesty.
Really approachable. He works. He was refereeing in Japan with GCW not that long ago.
Yep. Yeah.
That's really good stuff. Like I said, we were saying
in the world of Perch.
Refs, underappreciated heroes, and also
absolutely.
I want to show some appreciation to Scotty Too Hottie.
I was just going to say that. I didn't know he was still doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he is.
He came in, I think he was someone who was booked because we had some personnel arrangement alterations that was KM's side of things. But the fact is that this is another instance of just a fantastic guy who, was on the biggest stage for this industry, made his name, and he could have came in here and just phoned it in and, even been like a, too cool for school kind of thing, right? We know that kind of a thing exists. And he certainly would have a right to have an ego because he was everyone, you don't get to pick like how your career is going to go, but like very few people on the planet get to say they were one of the biggest like parts, and in this space, him and with Too Cool and Rikishi, there were those years where they were one of like the top 3 guys like on the roster at you know what I mean? Like, you can't bullshit about that.
And he did a ton of stuff behind the scenes too. That a lot of that NXT stuff, his hands were all over. So like, even behind the stage, he was incredible. He had an incredible run. His opponent, Dan Moff. I just want to say,
is it Moff or Math?
Moff. I believe it's Moff. I've always said Moff. I just want to say, this video doesn't do him credit because he is fucking terrifying in real life. He's super nice. He gave me a big hug, but he's terrifying looking in real life because he's got these arms that are just monstrous arms.
Yeah, these are, Scotty's awesome, right? He's talking about Scott. Dan is right now, Dan's in his bag right now. He's certainly earned a big rep for himself in the wrestling world, and he's put on some real cool shit over these last couple of years.
He was one of my people I was most excited to finally meet when this day came. I was very excited to finally get to meet him.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing him live too. And one of the cool things about this show is with WrestlePro.
They're shouting "Twist his dick."
Yes, they are.
Oh, we brought it back around.
Hey, this is a family show.
I completely forgot that they did that.
God damn it!
God, that's great.
Thank God we live in this
stealing all my
time.
stage moves. I'm pissed.
If I see you guys live and you don't do these moves, I'm going to be really upset and heartbroken.
Yeah, you said that we have to wear pajamas for this show. I sleep naked, so.
See, so I always say, it's pajamas, not what you sleep in. All right. If it was
That's an important clarification.
Then sure, but it's pajamas.
There's always some wise guy who's like, You know I sleep naked.
I sleep in my boxer shorts. Well, you know what?
I've played
it's
in
not
less.
boxer shorts fest. It's a pajama party.
It's really about the onesies. That's really when you're hitting the stride.
We move too much for a onesie. I'll fucking pass out.
Oh yeah,
I've worn onesies like every year we've done this.
Oh. You're braver than I.
I got this thing. I bought this thing for my fiance for Christmas. It's called a hoodie. It's basically a blanket that's a hoodie. So like,
Oh yeah.
it's
the comfy.
It's the comfiest shit I've ever seen.
I have one of those.
So I bought her one of those. It has wiener dogs all over it. We got a little wiener dog at home. And
That's
I
awesome.
put it on. I'm like, yo, I'm jealous. I want my own. So I got one that's like a red plaid. It's not the same brand, but it's a knockoff. But it's basically the same thing. And I think that's what I'm gonna wear. At least I'm gonna try. I'm gonna probably end up taking it off after that. But
it's just gonna be a puddle of sweat.
Yeah.
Aaron on chat. Yes, that's duly noted. There were some very intense hecklers going on. Dan knows how to raise the ear.
Oh yeah, he definitely knows how to get that heat.
The old back scratch.
Yeah, I love how into this Scotty is. Like that's
Oh,
really cool to see.
He's a hell of a character actor, or method actor.
Yeah.
The weirdest heckle I would hear on the show, this show, was during the Justin Carino Colt Cabana match. There was someone that was trying to start a tiny penis chant.
That's always one.
And Colt Cabana was like stunned for a second, and they're like, "Wait, you're talking about them, right?" Yeah. Okay.
You should be born at a guardrail show because I've heard that exact same time.
Kevin, do you don't have your dog with you, do you?
I'm at Ken's house, so no.
There's a
All right.
small dog that
Pause the actual video. He's gonna go back to his house and get the wiener dog, and then we can resume. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah, I'll take a picture. I'll take the picture. That works.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hang on. There it is. Her name's Gnarly. Follow her on Instagram at Gnarly the Ween.
That's one gnarly ween.
Chat's letting us know that there's a lot of wiener dog. Dachshund love.
What about Gnarls Barkley?
Oh, I call her that every day. She'll be barking at the window at something. I'm like, Gnarls?
That makes me crazy.
One of her nicknames is Bonk because she just bonks her head on shit all the time. She doesn't realize how long she is. And so sometimes I'll call her Gnarls Bonkley.
I see it.
And I'll refer to her as Gnarls or Bonk or Bonkley or
I just want to give some love to Dan Math's trunks.
Oh, they look so cool.
The Puerto Rican Punisher and the parental advisory. Love that shit.
Those are dope.
And they're shiny.
Yeah. Kevin and Ken, I don't remember if I had her when you guys last stayed with me, but I got a pup named 11, and she's blind and deaf, so it really doesn't matter what you call her. So you could be like Toaster, because she doesn't know the fucking difference.
You didn't have her yet when we crashed by your place.
Okay.
You got her shortly after that.
Okay, yeah.
How do you?
I got her around 4th of July.
How do you get her attention? You just stomp on the floor?
Yeah, or I kind of like blow at her or something. Like if she's asleep, I'll kind of blow on her through the crate. But she can tell the difference between light and dark. So she can see a silhouette kind of passing. So she'll sort of know you're there if there's enough light. But I usually can walk right in the house and she has no idea if I'm coming or going, and she's usually zonked out.
My family's
dog's
dog,
nose would.
she had a couple.
Oh fuck!
My family's dog passed a couple years ago. Towards the end of her life, she went deaf.
Okay.
You can still see, but there was a lot of times where I would sneak up on her accidentally. All of a sudden, she would just I'd be standing behind her. She just looks back and is like, Jesus Christ!
Dude.
I'm like, relax.
So I have a massage chair. I have a massage chair in my sunroom over there, and it's fucking nice, dude. massages your arms and stuff. So like I'm in the massage chair, it's reclined, I'm like squeezed in this thing, and then 11, this little bastard, starts taking a shit right in front of me in my sunroom, and I'm fucking trapped. No amount of screaming, she can't fucking hear it, so she's just taunting me. And I literally like lost my voice because I'm like, you will hear me, god damn it. And
dude, the night we crashed at your house last year, Alyssa, our bass player, like woke up before anyone. She was sleeping on the floor like a mad woman. And she woke up and she just went and sat in that massage chair.
It's lovely.
Loved it. And then she went and took a walk, and then she got locked out of the house.
Oh no!
But then she realized that you said something about like, oh, like I never locked my back door or whatever. She like remembered you said something like that. So she was able to come through, and I was like, who's fucking walking in the house right now? Like, I woke me up.
Yeah.
It was wild. But she was like, yo, that massage chair was fucking money.
Dude, okay, so the massage chair in question, that's a story time of its own. So basically, get the sad part out of the way, my dad died during COVID, so I had I was doing some like retail therapy, I was doing some sad splurging with dead dad money, and I was just like, I made a joke, because we played like our comeback show when the Panini finally like kind of allowed shows to happen.
Love it.
So we played our comeback show, and that was the longest we've gone without playing a show since I was like 14. Yeah. So we played a show, and I kind of jokingly posted, I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to get one of those fancy massage chairs that my chiropractor has, knowing that's like $2,000-$3,000. But I'm like, fuck it, let's see what's on Facebook Marketplace, see if there's something for like $400, like way low end or something. And I found this thing. It said $1,000, brand new, choose your color. And I'm like, let's see where this goes. So I messaged this person. I'm like, what sort of massage chair ring do you have where you're selling, like you have a bunch of brand new ones for $1,000 where I get to choose my color?
And like a black market for massage chairs.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like messaging her about it, but basically it keeps coming back around to me going, so $100 or $1,000? And she's like, yeah. So I asked more questions, and it keeps coming back to, but $1,000, because I'm like, this looks way nicer than my chiropractor's, and his was 2 or 3. But so she finally goes, you know what? And, I should mention, like 1 profile picture, 4 friends, broken ass English, like the words massage chair could not have been more misspelled. So eventually she goes, you know, you should probably just come to our warehouse and try it out for yourself. So I'm like, okay. So I go.
Where's your warehouse? Fucking Epstein's Island?
Exactly. And you know what? It's all fucking legit. So I'm following through on every shady marketplace deal now. And this thing, oh my God. So basically, they're like, yeah, so we have this business popping off in the UK, and we're moving here. We've been selling to hotels and airports and stuff like that. And we're trying to sell to the modern consumer. First selling for $1,000. In a couple weeks, we'll bump it up to $3, couple weeks up to $5. Final price $89.99. So I got this thing for $1,000. I almost bought 4. And I'll go to Costco now and sit in their $9,000 chair. I'm like, this is for fucking peasants. Like, this thing sucks. But yeah, no, I love this thing. I do it like every day. And after a show, oh, it's the best.
That's good to know. That was a good story. I also want to throw in here, once again, this was another match that greatly benefited by having both the hard cam and the second cam, especially that little bit on the outside where Dan went under the back. So Nathan and Rick also, who made the hard cam. But Nathan, thank you so much for your content, because this is good shit. And these guys probably need a massage chair. Hey,
get one.
They're kicking the shit.
Yeah, they're actually putting a ton of work in. They really are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, again,
this is a good match.
They really busted their ass.
Well, and I mean, Scotty, I know, has been working for a long time, but Moff has been working for over 20 years himself. He was on the very first Ring of Honor show. So, like, both of these guys have been working a long time to be putting this much effort. I love to see that.
Former tag champ, Ring of Honor with BJ Whitmer.
Yep.
There it is.
BJ Whitmer.
BJ Whitmer's crazy, man.
See, it's the thing that a lot of people, if you're not familiar with like the pro wrestling scene, and you live in Chicago, you're kind of like, or even the Chicagoland area, you're kind of spoiled because in a lot of ways, and I'm not the only person who would say this, there's professionals in this, Chicago is kind of like the mecca of pro wrestling. Not, there's MSG and Tokyo Dome and Mexico City, but like in terms of the amount of business that comes through Chicago, and just historically over 80, 90 years, it's just, you see so much good shit.
And this is my favorite venue of them all.
This is a beautiful venue. And if you talk to a lot of people, they'll flat out tell you that the reason that it is so well is because the fans have such good reactions in Chicago that going there, they know they're going to get good fan interaction. And that's part of the reason why big companies like coming here, is because they know no matter what, you're probably going to get a good reaction as long as you're putting quality and the product in the ring.
And here's some real inside baseball to double down on that. This venue that you guys are seeing right now, they had ran like 4 pro wrestling shows within 8 weeks before we got there.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 weeks before, they did a Friday, Saturday doubleheader of indie wrestling. So, like,
I think that was the Jim Lineman tournament.
Yeah, the JLM tournament.
Which is AAW.
Yeah. It's so the fact that, like, you think of what is it, watered down or overexposure or whatever, but there's always a crowd.
I've been waiting for this.
Right? Jesus.
Like the scene is strong enough.
Man, my spine's too
Hey!
See, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Star that he is, could have phoned it in, done that like within 3 minutes, and like, all right, good night, everybody. You know what I mean?
And I'd also like to point out, before he threw him off the top rope, he punched that man in the nuts about 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
You missed it. He just went like speed bag on Dan Moff's lower region.
Love that.
He worked the hell
That was a good one.
out of that
I like that match.
Yeah, that was a very good match. They all they have left is main, right?
Impressed by that level of professionalism. Pardon me?
Oh, absolutely.
All we have left is the main event, right?
Yeah, now it's going right into the main event.
With TJ Crawford, who like sold a large chunk of tickets, like he was a rock star.
Basically the right side of the audience is here for TJ.
Yeah,
there's
TJ
innovation that's going to come.
Yeah, they were lost their mind for him, which was, it was awesome to see.
I think on the left side. This is his first Chicago show. He's been a wrestler and working, but mostly in the East Coast.
So when he comes out, they lose their mind for him.
I think he's from Chicago too.
Yeah, he is from Chicago, and he went to that side to.
I believe he's on the south side, from like the south side area, like the Bridgeport area.
Okay. Which that area, I'm starting to see Talia Hall and Pilsen start to get used more as a wrestling venue, and that's a pretty cool venue too.
Which we almost, that's where we booked, almost booked.
Kevin and Ken, is it just me, or did that look like Alex from Bad Planning when he first came out?
Oh my God, you're right.
Like I saw somebody dive off of the second balcony of Talia Hall earlier this month.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was ridiculous, but awesome in the best ways.
Meanwhile, I woke up today with a headache because I slept weird. So there's 2 different types of people in this world.
That's fair.
I am the inferior.
Yeah, there's times where I wonder, should I become a wrestler? But then I realize that my knees don't hurt, and then I think, yeah, this was the correct decision.
Yeah, you made the correct call.
My knees hurt, and I'm not a wrestler. So, can you imagine if I was a wrestler? Dude, I'd have no knees, dude. I'd be no-knee Kev.
Yeah, make sure you wear knee pads.
Yeah, to sleep, apparently.
I may bucket list one match before I call it a day.
You made bucket list one?
Yeah.
All right. When are we doing this?
Oh shit. I mean, I'm in the getting better program, and it's in there. Basically, before 40,
Okay, so how old are you now?
Not
Oh,
important.
Jesus.
I'm going to get you to commit to this right now. How old are you now?
I just turned 38.
So you got a year and a half for you to have this match. Is that what I'm hearing?
Brother. Yeah.
All right, you guys heard it here. We're going to get Carl. Carl's going to get in the ring and work a match.
Hell
That
yeah.
would, by calendar, that'd be Champions of Hope 3.
Let's do it. You're working.
Dude,
Let's
do it.
go. I have no control of the card, but you're on it now.
I
Like,
know
I'm
a
not
guy.
interested in stepping in the ring, but I would be interested in like getting a heel like decking me for heat kind of stuff. I don't want to get in the ring. I don't want to do moves. That's one solid shot by heel.
Who's
Ellis-
who
Sorry.
beats up? Who beats up the AEW guy?
The AEW guy.
Hawk. That's his thing. Attacks a.
Lance Archer.
Oh, yeah,
Lance
Lance Archer. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
He attacks a civilian.
Yeah,
That's his next thing.
LSG knew that he was going to walk into this building, and no matter what he did, everyone in this building was going to hate him because of who he was wrestling, and he played his role amazing.
You know, he's a really, really talented guy.
Like, he wasn't going to have a fan in this entire building because of who he's wrestling, but he played that role so well. He did an awesome job.
If you guys ever have like a crying match, I could participate in that. Real
Well, what is the parameters? You mean like who can cry first and fastest or hardest, or what?
Either way, I'm fucking winning that shit.
Make somebody cry?
There was a crybaby match back in the WWF in 1996, I think it was, which was 1, 2, 3 Kid, X-Pac versus Razor Ramon. And I think the loser had to wear a diaper and dress like a baby or something like that.
Amazing.
Carl, you've been asked in the chat what your name would be.
7, so I would have won that shit for
Oh
sure.
well, that'd be amazing. What would your name be?
Yeah, what would your name be?
It depends. If I was gonna be a heel, I would go to a full character named Dorian Black. Not that I haven't fantasy booked this
Oh, that took you a half a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
That took literally about half a second. You were on it.
I would cry the most. It looks like you've got a crying challenger in the chat. Mike is is that Mike?
Hey, I just like the idea of a gimmick called well-hydrated Aquafina Fiji.
There used to be a guy in a little bit southern Illinois that did the Water Boy, Mike Horning, and his gimmick was that he was like he would promote the wonders of water and how it was the greatest thing ever. It was basically the non-redneck version of Bobby Boucher, and it was hilarious.
I think that guy may or may not have worked. I used to do photography for Elite Pro, which was owned by the Tomasellis.
Yeah, I guarantee he did.
The Tomasellis.
Yeah, I guarantee he worked for them. Yeah, because that would have been the same time period and area.
I was
Are you guys old enough to remember
John
Scoot
Moxley,
Andrews?
The Black Nature Boy.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I know
Yes.
Scoot Andrews.
Okay.
Big Scoot Andrews fan. He was the Black Nature Boy.
Did you ever play a text-based game called Extreme Warfare Revenge back in the day by any chance?
I did not because I can't actually read, so I did not play that.
So like my knowledge of indie wrestling would have been like they would have had like a real world booking simulator where you just like book the matches, decide who wins, run your own company, and they would use like real wrestlers and real world stats. It was a free game. And so like a lot of the indie wrestlers that I would eventually see later, I like recognize their names, be like, oh man, Scoot Andrews, he has a 90 score on speed.
I just want to highlight that the tears thing is kind of taking on a life of its own. Yes, we could bottle them the tears or something.
That's.
I don't know what to do with that, but it caught my attention.
No, you're good. You're good. I got you. Hey,
and
Colin, your camera. Oh no, never
neck.
mind. I thought your camera was frozen, but you're good.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out. There was a Chicago wrestler that used one of our songs as their entrance music. And I'm trying to figure out what their name was at the time.
Oh, now, yeah, I want to know that.
I know they're
here's
they're non-binary, so they were Alex Rose. I don't know if that was their in-ring name though.
Okay.
Now they go by Eric Christopher. I don't know if they're still wrestling. We
Huh.
were the theme for what was it? One of our songs was used for a pay-per-view event, Full Impact Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah, FIP.
Declaration of Independence, like
That's-
2016.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
cool
it was dope.
Oh, so that would have been the reboot.
Yeah, big FIP fans. That was good product.
Yeah, I want to say I think Danhausen was on that. I don't remember.
Hey,
On that show?
Danhausen. Good
I
stuff.
think would they have been based in Florida? I think. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
FIP wasn't the feeder, was it? No, I'm thinking of, what am I thinking of?
FIP was like ROH's feeder for a short time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
okay.
like
Yep.
CM Punk as their champion for a little while. They had Homicide there, I remember.
Homicide. Oh, young
Yeah, that's
Homicide.
actually awesome. I'll have to look that show up now.
Yeah.
I miss young Homicide. So, Kidd Riot, you can. Well, actually, Kidd Riot, what is your entrance song?
So basically, a couple of years ago, Mike Ruckus was selling custom themes on Facebook, like for SoundCloud. Like you paid him like $50 or $100, and he would make you a custom theme, and you would like say, "Hey, this is my character," and he'd make you music. So he made me that music that I normally use, and it's very Mega Man X style sounding. That Mega Man X style sound. And he made that for me. And then, of course, now Mike Ruckus, who is in charge of all the sound for AEW now, he makes all the themes on AEW now. So I caught him right before they popped up and was able to get custom music made by him. So it is my own custom song.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I didn't mean
local
to
Chicago.
interrupt you there. I just popped on that it's changed.
Yeah, you know, that was an incredible exchange. I was like watching it, I was trying, but yeah. So basically, the guy that made AEW's music made my music. I get to
That's
say
amazing.
That's awesome.
So, for the rest of the crowd, what would your entrance song be?
We didn't do this.
Kevin, Ken, Nate, anyone who jumps in, Colin?
If
Chat,
I'm well
what's your
hydrated,
entrance song?
Aquafina Fiji, it'd be TLC's Waterfalls, maybe.
All right.
Yeah. Easily, without a doubt, Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba.
That is, I'm surprised that
just
hasn't been
said
used.
That is the greatest song of all time.
I'll tell you what's the
Colin,
worst
who said
indie
that?
theme I've ever heard.
I said it was Tub Thumpin' by Chumbawamba.
Nice. Okay. Kevin and Ken.
Walkout music.
Headstrong.
Yeah,
Headstrong's bad, but I've heard. I think my least favorite indie theme I've ever heard was Kryptonite by Three Door Down.
Oh my
Which would be
God.
Chris Heroes.
I
Not
take
only-
a walk around the world like a man.
But like, not only would
That's
they
not
play
like
that
that.
song, the guy wouldn't come out until the first chorus of Kryptonite. So like,
Oh
people
my
would
God.
be waiting like a minute and a half for the chorus of Kryptonite to come out, and that's just like a minute and a half too much of Three Door Down. Period.
There's like 2 verses before the chorus. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was super into Three Doors Down when I was in like 6th grade, so like I know all about that shit. That's a
Hey,
long
Bruno-
song for no reason.
Was that Bruno Mars in the chat? Gravity by Turnstile. All right. That's
That's
hell
a good
yeah.
one.
Kevin and Ken. What are your entrance songs?
Oh man, what is that song?
Mine would have to be something by Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
I don't know what song. Probably not perfect stuff. Probably like what's that
Just
one
one
song?
Nookie?
No, the one from Song of Starfish where it's like, you get knocked the fuck out.
Okay.
Your mouth's writing checks that your ass can't catch. I love that.
Scramsky, Monday.
Full
Is that a
Nelson,
Limp
that's the
Bizkit
name of the
song?
Full Nelson is the song. That would be my walkout for sure.
Full Nelson by Limp
Pre-show
Bizkit.
ritual before a show. On the way to the venue, I gotta listen to Limp Bizkit. That's
fair.
I gotta get into the zone, man.
Okay, so I found that wrestler's name. They were called Ark Williams.
Okay, I know Ark.
Okay, yeah, they're
We
great.
worked one show in my hometown together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like Ark was good people.
Yeah. Oh, they rule. I
assume they still are. I just have not seen them in
Yeah, I haven't
forever.
in a long time.
Aaron,
But
yeah.
chat, you're so right. These two are super fast.
But yeah,
TJ's going for another
Ark,
maneuver.
Ark was good people.
Oh,
Definitely
cut him off.
positive feedback.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think he's for Susan. So Scramsky in chat says Monday, Monday by the Mamas and the Papas.
Oh,
Interesting.
all right.
Monday, Monday.
Maybe Boom 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 by the Venga Boys.
That North Star Express, Darren Corbin and Ryan Cruz used that for years.
Yeah, who let the dogs out?
We did a show at a bar and they had no sound equipment, so you had to pick something off the jukebox to use as your music.
Oh shit!
Which also meant you had to listen to the entire song. And because I have such an eclectic music taste at times, I was limited on my options in small town Illinois jukebox. So somewhere there's footage of me selling the crap out of and trying to act like the greatest song ever written is Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne.
I mean, that wouldn't be that hard.
And to this day, I have a love for that song because of that moment.
Oh yeah.
That is my go-to karaoke song.
Okay.
Mike is a musician in chat says if he had to pick a Biscuit song, it'd be Stuck.
Aaron, if it's Spice Girls, I hope it's Say You'll Be There. That would be my favorite Spice Girls song as well.
Turning flat.
There's a mashup artist on YouTube that does a really good job of taking Spice Girls Wannabe and mixing it with Sulfur by Slipknot.
Yep.
And it's amazing. That would probably be a good theme too.
There's a video somewhere where someone did a mashup. They took the music from Baby by Justin Bieber and they put the vocals of Psychosocial by Slipknot.
Oh, Psychosocial Baby, yeah.
Go on YouTube, search Psychosocial Baby, and it's the first thing that comes
It
up.
might be
It's
the
beautiful.
channel There I Ruined It. A lot of
maybe
those
this
like
is kind of older.
mashups is There I Ruined It.
I want to
Anything?
say this came out pre-TikTok.
Okay. Anything by S Club 7. That is a definite deep cut there.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, see, I feel like a geek because I definitely
Nice
thought about like, if
transition.
I was a that was great.
That was beautiful.
If I was a bad, if I was a heel or a bad guy, I'd come out to King Nothing by Metallica, and if I was a baby face, I don't have anything funny to say there, but no, but King Nothing was like was
Golden
kind of
Girls
like
theme.
I would like space out thinking about wrestling. That was always the song that like worked for me.
Whenever I did heel, my favorite thing to do was actually come out to no music because it instantly made the crowd uncomfortable and put them on edge.
Yeah.
And it made everything else I was going to do a little bit easier because they were already like, it felt unnatural to them, so they already were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Creep. Aaron in chat says
Yeah,
Creep
or Scrubs, yeah.
or Scrubs. Oh, from TLC.
Yeah,
No Scrubs.
No Scrubs, yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
That
I
dog
thought
was
she
up.
meant the Scrubs theme song.
I mean, I'm for that
no
as well.
Superman. Do, 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 do.
Chuck Taylor, for a while, used the theme of The Adventures of Pete and Pete for his wrestling theme.
Oh,
That's
dope.
tremendous.
I love that theme song from Law and Order.
I'll say
With like the disclaimer at the beginning, like he's trying to.
You have to the whole disclaimer.
Your fucking video background just says produced by Dick Wolf.
I would love Jimmy Jacobs late in his career came out to Q Lazarus, the Wild Horse. What is it called? You know the song from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's,
yeah.
Goodbye,
Like
horses.
when he's dancing in the mirror.
Goodbye,
Like,
horses.
yeah,
good-
Wild
yeah.
Horses. Yeah, that I always thought Dalton Castle used that song.
Would you
Take
fuck
on a
me?
different meaning.
I'd fuck me.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what song you're talking
Yeah.
There's
There's some songs that should be like banned in pro wrestling because they're overused. Like on the indies, if I hear any more In Excess, like Personal Jesus is one of the most brutalized. Outside of Christopher Daniels, no one else should ever use that song.
Yeah, totally. No one should ever do that one time. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I didn't know you did that, but
No, you're good. It was literally once.
it sounds great. But like almost
Yo,
every
it's-
indie show, There's some.
I started wrestling when Godsmack's Stand Alone. I Stand Alone
Oh, what a
first
banger.
dropped, and let me tell you, how many times I heard that song in shows. Like everybody's like, "Oh, my theme is Godsmack's I Stand Alone." Yeah, you and 8 more guys on the show, asshole. Pick something else.
Fruit salad and
Godsmack
Wiggles.
song.
That other Godsmack song
So
probably
many
was
bangers.
overused too. I'm not the one who's so far away.
Oh, Voodoo,
that song-
yeah.
I feel snake mob here and there, my
So
that's
WWE
Godsmack? Okay.
So WWE has this feeder system back in the day called OVW, and Dave Bautista did a video of him being a demon, just hanging out in a graveyard to Godsmack's Voodoo,
Oh my god.
being summoned by a lady doing like witchcraft.
What was the
Outstanding.
band that was like the pay-per-view tunes in the early 2000s?
Saliva.
Yeah, was
Yeah,
that
probably.
it? You know,
Yeah, Saliva. Yeah.
Saliva. Yeah, gotta be Saliva.
Yeah.
But there was one other band. Saliva was all the time, but there was that one
Seven
other
Dust too was big.
Papa Roach.
Oh,
Papa
fucking
They did the
Roach.
Raw theme for a bit.
Band. Was River in the name of the band?
POD.
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 Feel so alive.
I wish I could remember. The front man had like kind of looked like so WWE in like 03 had a whole streak of using Creed. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's
Oh, yeah.
2002.
I mean,
Where,
yeah,
like,
Creed?
yeah, they
might
had like 3
lie.
pay-per-views that was like they had Arms Wide Open and then
My Sacrifice.
My
Like, there's-
Sacrifice. Oh, the tribute video. I still get emotional about that.
That was beautiful transition.
That was dope.
That was. He went for that spin out bomb and he caught him with a headlock takeover. Real basic but incredible transition.
Look at that
and that
spear
was-
transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
the outside.
Oh, that's
What the
Beautiful.
fuck is happening
That's
right now?
beautiful combination, dude. TJ Crawford's good. I just saw him on an episode of MLW, and he's incredibly talented. LSG is incredibly talented too, but TJ is really coming into his own.
I think LSG's popped up on AEW Dark a couple times.
Yeah, he has.
Doubling
Yes.
back a little bit, I have this idea for a nightmare band called Creed Clearwater Revival.
I would buy a ticket to that show.
Count me in, dude.
Opening slot, Kevin Spacey, DC.
Oh.
It's not too soon.
So is it CCR songs in the style of Creed or Creed songs in the style of CCR?
Yes.
Oh, that's a nice one.
All of the above.
Mix of the two. I love it.
I did own Reckless Intent. I did not buy the John Cena rap
Reckless
CD though.
Intent, Zebrahead's one of my all-time favorite bands, and I love that they were on that CD. And I was thinking about the John Cena CD earlier today where he had that song Don't Wanna Fuck With Us on there.
You know what?
And he literally just kind of rips off Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh, shoot.
It's fine. No,
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
sure no one noticed.
I
He
finally
says the words
remember-
Another One Bites the Dust.
I mean, I don't even think that song Another One Bites the Dust is that popular, so I'm sure no one noticed.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I finally
He wrote
remembered
it.
what entrance song I'd use him as a face, and it's my favorite entrance song I've ever heard anywhere. It was from ECW. It was Bruce Dickinson's cover of The Zoo,
Oh yeah.
The Scorpions, The Zoo.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the guy who came out in ECW too, but I just listen to that song endlessly all the time. See,
Again, LSG knew his assignment and nailed it of just being an absolute prick.
these guys are crushing it.
He's twisting it.
It's getting ready for the twist.
Giving him the big elbow, brother.
Do the
Oh, he's
twist.
all tuckered out.
Macho Man made a rap album where he did
Yes,
he
shit talk
did.
Hulk Hogan. It was entitled "Be a Man." That is a real thing. Where he just buries Hulk Hogan for an entire rap album.
It's incredible.
We miss you, Macho.
I hurt my neck just watching it.
Yeah, he was elbowing the shit out of him.
Whiplash after watching this for 3 hours.
Uh-oh. Got him by the tie.
Got him by the pants, brother.
Did you touch my crack?
Oh, Aaron.
Killer.
Tommaso Ciampa, who is in WWE, used Psycho Killer for a theme for a long time. There's video of him in this building right here, and the crowd is singing it to him as it's playing at a wrestling show.
What's
I would've
Mance
saw that
Warner's
live
entrance
against-
song? That's a good
Mance-
sing along.
I don't know what it is, but Mance Warner is probably one of the coolest people.
Oh,
Mance
That's
Warner's
gotta be it.
song?
Yeah.
Mance Warner's song is Simple Man by Shinedown.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone loves singing those. Ooh,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
That's a clothesline from hell if I ever saw one.
2.
Two, brother.
Wrestling! That's dating myself. Fuck, all these two are giving their all.
Yeah, I know, right? They're killing it. We're over here talking about fucking Creed.
So, does anyone have the technology to convert VHS? Because I've been trying to do it and having a few errors. I made a pro wrestling movie when I was in junior high and high school with some friends, and I'm trying to get the tape to convert. But it's like an hour and a half long movie. Ooh.
I have not done that.
I'm
no.
sure there's ways. There's probably some services. I used to be able to back in the day. I would have like me and Ken. We're like childhood buddies, so we would like make dumb movies on our camcorders and then put them on VHSs all the time. But like that was 20 years ago, so I have no idea what the hell you can do with that shit now.
Jesus.
Fight forever.
Yeah. These are good, clean shots.
Jesus.
Ooh, money.
Nice tight forearm.
God.
Oh, they cut him off. Mama's boy.
These guys are killing it, and meanwhile, I'm like, my tummy hurts because I had too much fried rice.
Palm strikes in the chest. Jesus.
My
Stop
God.
hitting me, asshole.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, he's just like kicking his
bird,
ass.
the
Give me
double
$6.
Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
God damn. Love to see it.
What a maneuver.
Alex Crook is mean.
He's lining them up.
That's some bad planning right
I
there.
don't know what TJ's finisher's called, but.
I don't know what it is either, but I mean, I know he calls himself the Silver Sniper, so I imagine
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
something related to that.
Didn't see like a.
Hey!
Oh, the bridge out.
All that core strength.
Nice.
Too
Keep
covered.
going back and forth.
It's like Aaron in the chat knows the VHS players.
Yeah.
I sent one version of the tape and it got destroyed, so I kind of want to try it on my own now. Because it's like the last known copy.
Ooh, that was smooth.
My God, that ref is gonna pass out.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, as a ref, I hated when they did that.
Oh, he got it?
Yeah, TJ got it.
On the final roll up. What a match. What a match.
Nice. God damn.
Woo!
God, how many was it? That was like
Wow.
10 to 15 or something.
That ref is just thinking,
A
thank
minute?
God you guys are done.
I think it was like 20 minutes.
No. Attempted pinfalls, like right there at the end.
Yeah, no, that was like 6 or 7 rotations. I lost count.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Bird again.
Blows that middle finger.
What a match. Yeah, absolutely, chat.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, I gotta tell you, I am so glad that all of you watching and joining us on chat for being a part of the Champions of Hope watch along.
Yeah, this was cool.
Yeah.
This has been a real treasure and a real treat. Colin, Ryan, Kevin, and Ken, it's been great chatting with you. Nathan and Kidd Riot, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
For those who tuned in, you'll be able to see Champions of Hope on our YouTube channel. We'll have it as one continuous episode and also as a playlist for individual matches. And let's talk about going home strong here. Give us the go home pitch for Guardrail. Please give us the go home pitch for Snuzfest.
Yes. So, again, it is February 11th at Beat Kitchen in Chicago. $15 in advance. You can get the tickets online. Go to our social media. Go to beatkitchen.com. It's $18 at the door. A lot of good bands playing, including the day after with our boy Colin up here.
I'm at the day after.
Yeah, and then so much other great bands. Keep Flying, Cut Your Losses, Goof, Leisure Hour, The Runaround, and the Freedom Paradox, who Ryan from the Freedom Paradox was in here earlier. Great show. Wear your best pajamas, your onesies, your PJ pants, if you will, your robes, anything that's comfy as hell. Just be comfy, rock the fuck out, drink some mimosas. All the proceeds benefit the Hope for Us Network, which is what we're doing right here, hanging out with you guys here for this. Couldn't ask for a better organization to benefit here, so we're stoked. Come hang out. And then if you're also the couple of days before that, us and the day after doing a couple shows on the 9th and 10th. We're playing in the Quad Cities on the 9th, and we're playing in Indianapolis, the Hoosier Dome, with the day after, and Keep Flying as well. So come hang out at the shows.
It's going to be a blast.
And fucking hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Well, guys, I really want to thank you. And I also want to throw in as a little surprise that we're going to be bringing in a brand new Nintendo Switch to raffle off that night.
Oh, God.
Oh, at the show?
Get yourselves, at the show. Get yourself some tickets. And somebody's going home with a Switch that night. And
love that.
I can't thank you enough, Guardrail, for making us the benefactors. We're deeply honored to be a part of this. We're going to be out there full force, supporting, making sure our people are there as well. So, come day after, Ryan, Freedom Paradox, and our good homies with Guardrail. Thank you so much for being a part of this this live stream.
Yeah,
Are any of you going to be on tomorrow's show tomorrow?
I think we might be.
Okay, doing double duty. Just for those who are watching right now,
I guess
the fun on Sleep In Weekend doesn't end tonight. Tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Central Time, we've got another packed event. The Tomorrow Show will be running. We're going to be having Kevin Matthews, who you saw tonight on Champions of Hope. We're going to be featuring one of our newest sponsors and partners, Nature's Grace and Wellness, as part of the Conversation and Education Program. We're going to be having members from the bands Goof and Keep Flying, and maybe even some homies from Guardrail as well. That'll be tomorrow's show, so at 1 p.m. Central. Nice. And lastly, I want to thank Nathan, one of the video producers and just a general all-around awesome guy in the Chicago indie wrestling community, Kidd Riot, badass mother trucker, who's taking names out on the indie wrestling scene. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And lastly, I want to thank all of you who are watching. Shout out to WrestlePro. We're going to be talking with Kevin tomorrow, but shout out to WrestlePro and all the wrestlers who put their bodies on the line for us for that wonderful event. And then finally, all of you who are watching tonight, I want to thank you for making time for us and the Hope for Us Network. We do this as a part of our continual outreach and digital connection to keep proactive prevention and mental health as a normalized conversation. We don't have to just start the conversations with why are you sad. Sometimes just talking about what you're interested in and what gives you hope is just as important to build those pathways to communicating about the tougher things in life, like Tommy Dreamer talked about in the Champions of Hope video. So I want to thank everyone, and I hope everyone takes care and has a safe, healthy Saturday night, wherever that takes you from this point on. Take care, everyone, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and see you tomorrow with Tomorrow's Show.
All right, guys, be safe.